Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
Is this thing on? Okay, it looks like it is. Hey, gamers. So, Ember's Quinn here. Hi. We fucking did it. I released an album. It is available on my Bandcamp at djspacegirl.bandcamp.com, and it's called SpaceGirl Story, and it's instrumental hip-hop inspired by rare funk and witch house and dirty south hip-hop. Just like some beats that have been kicking around in my mind for quite some time that we finally gotten to a point where we feel comfortable about them, and we're putting that out into the world. So go check that out. Thanks for your support. Later, gamers.
Hey, it's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check radio show. It's your boy, Johnny Mardu.
And I'm DJ Space Girl. Let's get into the news.
Cruel Claw and World Fire.
Yep, and that's the news.
This program has been brought to you by DJ Space Girl's new album, SpaceGirl Story.
Be sure to check out the link at djspacegirl.bandcamp.com. That's djspacegirl.bandcamp.com.
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
I have been waiting so long for you to fucking get that album out.
Yeah, me too, TBH. And then all of the things that we needed to accomplish got accomplished, and today was the most auspicious of occasions, given that it is the holy day of individuals of my culture. So it was a fitting release date for my debut album or whatever.
Yeah, I remember. This is not a knock to. This is not a drug. How am I like? I'm already stumbling over it. I worked at Costco years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked in the deli. So like any prepackaged foods like had to be handmade. Like all the like raw chicken meals that we had all packed up, but it was all stuffed with like feta and spinach and God knows what else. And you wanted like quinoa salad that fucking tasted horrible and all this other stuff. That was me in the deli, you know.
Okay, well, shout out to you, because some of those are very good. Yeah,
no, you go to Costco and you're like, damn, I need like a fucking prepackaged lasagna from like the deli. Like, yeah, that was the place to go. Some of that stuff's really good. Hey, like any job, there are some people who are just like not qualified to be working, let alone working in our department where like food safety like matters like big time, right?
Mm.
And I can only describe as like this fucking dumbass stoner shows up to the department. And like this dude was like way too laid back. Like nice guy, but like couldn't do work for shit.
Just not locked in.
No, like apparently I can't remember if he was like a forklift driver, and thank God if he wasn't, because
dude, you can't.
And apparently he was like having problems with like the different department he was in. Anyway, so he gets moved over, he transfers in, and we show him the ropes, and he gets his qualification, all this other stuff for like food safe, because you got to get food safe at least.
Mm-hmm.
And like dude was like we had to like transfer the packaged meals on like these really tall, narrow carts, which like honestly, in retrospect, kind of a safety issue, because they were so like top heavy and like you put it top to bottom row, like it's taller than me. Like I'm 6 foot like 1 or whatever. And they're taller than me, and if you threw it around like hundreds of pounds.
That sounds mad structurally unsound.
Oh, yeah. So I was like, I don't know why I never brought it up at the time, but I guess in retrospect,
Because you didn't get paid enough to, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. I was earning like $15 or $16 an hour or something at the time. Like, yeah, no, not worth it. So this guy apparently was like, we were told, like, you got to be careful when you're rolling these things around for a multitude of reasons, but we can't, like, be rolling them around and hitting customers, right? This dude is just flinging that shit through the aisles, like, and you're at Costco. You're like, I don't know, like, those aisles are pretty big, and he's just nearly fucking bowling people over, and he's, like, not a small dude either, so we're probably looking at, like, maybe 300 something pounds just like rushing towards people, and like if it makes contact, like we're gonna have an issue, right?
Fucking yikes.
And then he would just like continue to say inappropriate shit in the workplace, and we're like, not to say that like just because I was working with a bunch of like mothers who were in like their 40s and 50s or whatever, like that they were innocent children or anything, like not going to be showing their ankles in church kind of deal. But like he just say some like weird stoner shit of like whatever. And they would be like, that is not appropriate. Right.
Bro, you gotta just say like, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, have a great rest of your day, and not a damn word more, dude.
And then he's like, yo, I did mushrooms downtown on 420, and I was like, cool, bro. Like,
keep that to yourself, my guy.
Dude, we are in the room full of like, I'm pretty sure there were like 10 of us of the team that were in the room. Like, I'm in my early 20s at this point. I admit, like, I am not a stoner. I don't do, the only drug I do is the one that kills my liver, aka alcohol, and other things. And just like, I was like, dude, like, come on, like you got. And so anyway, he got let go at some point. Several things started acting up. He was late often, all this other stuff. Like truly embracing, like the casual stoner lifestyle at his expense. And I don't know what happened to that guy afterward, but it was like, dude, please, just we're not working at the weed store where you can say that you smoke weed at the weed store.
Yeah, you gotta keep that to yourself, my guy. What do they call it on some Dragon Ball, like hiding your power level? Yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah, you gotta suppress that shit where they're like, oh, what does the scouters say? I don't know, he smokes like kind of recreationally, I guess. All right, it's time for me to go Super Saiyan. Hit that bong, Goku. Yeah. Yeah. So happy 420, I guess, for those who celebrate. Shout out to Mike Carosa, even though he hasn't been smoking weed that long. But man, people loved the smoking mids bit from last episode. So
that was a banger of an episode. Thank you so much to Lenny and Mike for coming through and putting that together. Looking forward to mid-Cadian masks later.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's go do our general upkeep. I'll just announce this right now. Guests are always in motion for a multitude of reasons, and we got Kyle from the Legendary Creature podcast scheduled not next episode, but the next episode around mid-late May, just based off timing and everything. So look forward to that. So it's funny, and I'll tell him about this, and Andy will probably hear about it, like via this. Hey, Andy, from the future, or from the past to you in the future. Because like, okay, this let's talk about this like in the content creation space stuff, right? Like, I'm the guy that's the ringleader who's like, all right, I'll do all the scheduling and everything. Like, it's my thing. Like, I'll do that. That's not an issue. But sometimes even I'm like, okay, I don't just want to approach people and be like, oh, hey, can you join my podcast? And then like make it like a one night stand and then never talk with them again. But sometimes that is kind of like the nature of the beast, because like some people can live like pretty busy or different lifestyles, and so like when it comes to like, okay, how easy is it to approach Andy and Kyle? Well, Andy is a certified freak like us, so that man, super easy to get in touch with, super easy to like chat with. We're going back and forth all the time. What did he say to me earlier in the LCP Discord? Because they got a new episode out of like Trostani's calling his name again, or he's getting like the itch again for Trostani Three Whispers. Yeah. And then I'm like, and then we got a blocker like on socials.
Fucking Trostani in his DMs.
And Trostani's in his DMs, and then it's the 3 weed smoking girlfriends. And he's like, I got to unblock.
And yes, they smoke weed.
Fuck, what a funny bit, right? And then in Kyle's case, I was like, I don't know, like, how do I handle Kyle? Because like he seems like the guy who's like kind of an offline king. Like he'll put a link out. He forgot to put the link out for today's episode, but that's a whole other thing. But I'm like, I don't know. And then Andy's just like, I don't know, just ask him and like tell him like what the premise is, and he'll probably say yes. And like that's the thing. That's really the thing. I reached out. I was like, hey, this is the idea, and he's like, yeah, cool. And then I made the group chat for the 3 of us to get ready ahead of time, and I already gave him like the doc and everything. He's like, oh yeah, sick. And I'm like, fuck, it's really that easy, right? So you miss the shots you don't take. So go do that. So yeah, Kyle will be coming up in a couple episodes. Honestly, still gonna try and get Kristen on when she's got the time, which will hopefully be, sometime in the future. You will be doing vibes-based storytelling for Secrets of Strixhaven next episode.
Yeah, we did not have the time to make that happen this episode with making the album release this week.
Yeah. So get prepared for that, everyone. I want you to read that story and get that on our desk in 2 weeks so we can get our episode out in 2 weeks so we can give you story-based story time.
And read the side stories and the Legends of Secrets of Strixhaven article that they put out alongside the release of the main set, so that you can know all of the legendary creatures and the set's names and pronouns and what their deals are.
I also heard that the printed novel for Strixhaven is like a New York Times bestseller.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, shout out to Shannon McGuire fucking crushing it in the Magic the Gathering literature game. New York Times bestseller, like you said. Truly incredible numbers that she's putting up. I gotta get my hands on a copy of that soon.
Yeah, I'll be looking for one up here if we manage to get them shipped up here to Canada, which I don't know, I'll go to like, we don't have a Barnes and Noble, but we got like hilariously Kohl's bookstores, and so I'll go check that out. Oh, that was a running joke when I was in elementary school. It was like, oh, Kohl's bookstore.
Oh, I bet.
Fuck you. I'm like 8 years old. Like, okay, fine, shut up. So I guess I was like, oh, that's kind of like, oh, look at creative media.
Wordplay,
go read the fucking books, go read that stuff. Okay, so let's go to, general hobbyist stuff, what we've been up to lately.
Yeah, so Mega Man Star Force, you told me to pick up Star Force 3, and I did pick that up, and man, that dialogue is, well, we're getting there. I'm starting to, like, warm up to things a little bit more, but the intro was so fucking exposition heavy. I'm like, bro, please stop talking. I would love to play a game.
We did talk about it, and I do want to go back to it, because, like, this is the thing about a lot of these games that is, like, it is a bug and a feature of, like, the genre, or, like, how to, like, bring people into your game depending on how late they're coming in, right? They're like, okay, do we have, like, cutscenes to, like, get you up to speed, but then the cutscenes are, like, too long? Or, like, what did someone say earlier? What I thought was kind of, like, a funny counterpoint of, like, people who, like, they got into Kingdom Hearts via Kingdom Hearts 2, and they played the first 3 hours as Roxas and was given all this exposition, and they are, like, equally as confused as Roxas. So you're like, oh, I relate to it because I don't know who the fuck these people are. So in Star Force 3's case, like, when you were telling me that they're, like, so exposition heavy of telling
With
you
the
like,
advancements in FM technology, stop.
yeah, no. And well, it's EM technology. Thank you very much.
Whatever.
But, yeah. So yeah. So I wonder if it's like pretty similar to like the later Battle Network series. But again, the point here is that with Mega Man Battle Network and then with Star Force, because of how Capcom severely heavily oversaturated the Mega Man market with Battle Network, and they probably already had plans to do like a 3DS sequel, and then they scrapped it. Like they scrapped the Battle Network version because when people were looking into like the files for Star Force like 1 or 2, I think there were 3D model assets of like Battle Network areas and like characters and stuff. So they were like,
Ooh.
oh, so they might have done it, but then poor sales from Battle Network 4 led to the end of the series at 6, and then they did Star Force, and then Star Force, like they knew that they were like, okay, if Star Force 3 is going to be the last game, which it was, like when they were doing it in the middle of development, they were like, this is going to be the last one, because Star Force 2 sales were so garbage. Or like I'll go into it in a second here because it's part of the thing. But like because they knew it was going to be the finale, and if it might have been like an entry point for casual people to come into it, because it's the best one of the trilogy, and it's like everything that they learned from the first 2 ended up in the third one. But the unfortunate part was the exposition was like the worst part. So once you get past that, I promise you it picks up like a fever pitch. It's fucking insane.
I think it's starting to pick up. We did the thing where we got the rocket launch, except that's interrupted by the rogue wizard or whatever they're called. And things are starting to get schmovin'. The combat is actually like ramping up in the level of challenge, and I have to actually lock in for even random battles, which is like, okay, maybe Mega Man has a couple of hands.
Yep. But why did Star Force 3 get to the way it was? So let's go over to me for a sec and talk about the Star Force Legacy Collection at Star Force 2 Zerker Saurian, which was the version that I picked. But I always choose the Zerker file over the Saurian because I like Lightning Berserker Sword Mega Man. It's cool. So this is what...
Hang on. what is the difference?
Okay. Let me break it down. It's very simple. So instead of the typical, like the straight up typical Pokemon sequel games get split off into 2 versions with version exclusive shit, which like they were doing, what they decided to do was rather than make them 3 separate games like they did with Star Force 1 with Pegasus, Leo, and Dragon, they combined Zerker as like the one shared between them. And then the second game file on each of the cartridges is either Saurian, Fire Saurian, or Grass Ninja. So you have save files where you get to choose, you're either going to choose the Saurian or the Zerker route, or you're going to choose the Ninja or the Zerker route, and that's it. You get some like in-game bonuses of being able to transform to like the other ones, based off like which version you have, but then you have to like go online to get like the third one, and it's a whole thing. I'll go into that in a second, but they were like, here's the 2 games, Zerker Saurian, Zerker Ninja, take your pick of which one seems more appealing. And you're like, I like Naruto, so I'll choose the ninja one.
So the way that you actually like play the game is different? Like the characters' movesets?
So the core focus, so this is kind of part of Star Force 3 as well. The version that you choose does affect certain attributes, because most of the time when you reach the point where you get like the like titular like power up of that game, like the Zerker sword, the Ninja Star, or the Saurian bone, which is like hilarious, is like you get 2 weapons and you get a T-Rex skull.
You get a fucking bone.
Yeah, you get bones, and I got a rock. Like, thanks, Charlie Brown. So when you unlock the powers of each of the games, including Star Force 3, you normally default in like you eventually start the fights in the default form of like that transformation rather than like finding a way to trigger the power up. So you start the fight as a ninja, or you start the fight as a dragon warrior, or you start the fight as like a berserker warrior. And then in Star Force 3, you're eventually going to get a thing that allows you to transform into the Black Ace form, but you also have like an intermediary transformation state that you're going to get that's like passive. Like you passively have the transformation on. But Star Force 1, they only gave an extra bonus skill to the dragon transformation. Pegasus and Leo like got jack shit, and everyone's like, wait, why is dragon like a GameStop exclusive and it gets like a bonus ability? Like, this is kind of bullshit.
Oh, that's fucked.
So that's why when the collection was announced, everyone's like, okay, like if you want to have like a little bit more of an interesting time, or like it's a kind of quote unquote like slightly easy mode, like choose the dragon version, because like grass attribute gets a few additional like bonuses on top of like having whatever the passive ability was. I don't know. And then in Star Force 2, like if you played Saurian, you get super armor, so you don't flinch when you get hit.
Oh shit.
Ninja, I think, ignores panels. And then Zerker, they get a paralysis weapon, and you can like it's a thing. I don't know if you'll go back and play those ones that I have, because what I'm going to tell you is don't do it. Keep playing Star Force 3.
I already don't think that we're going to go back and play the other two. I think I'm good on Star Force 3.
And then in Star Force 3, the Black Ace has like air shoes, meaning when you step on panels, you don't affect them, and if you're walking over a hole, because that was a thing that came up a lot, was breaking panels, so you can't move over them. If you have Black Ace, you just float over them, which is great.
Sick. That's the one that I picked.
The charge gauge, like that you do between the turns, so you can load up your battle cards. It actually loads faster when you're in the Black Ace transformation, which so like. You can like blitz people with stupid powerful cards and then load up the next round like immediately. Red Joker, I think, has super armor and it doesn't have the gauge, but like it has enough. The differences were that it ended up being that the Red Joker file was actually more competitively viable in the PvP scene. Like, it just had that much more oomph in it compared to Black Ace, because they were like, I actually want to stall my opponent out. Which is another thing. Like, that's the thing about the Star Force series. And I was trying to,
you can play stacks in Star Force.
You can play stacks in Star Force where you can use like slow gauge. And I was like, when I was sending that stuff in the group chat, and I'm like, guys, I'm like, Light, Medusa, everyone, please play Star Force. And Light's like, I don't know, the only thing that's appealing to me is the Saurian transformation. I couldn't really care about anything else or whatever. And I'm like, no, but there's like,
of course,
there's counter spells with time stop cards, and you can use slow gauge to like grief your opponent when they use all their battle cards before you, and your like buster or your passive effects are just like better, so you can just like leech their HP or whatever. So it's like there's like an extra like card game element, like, and kind of a bit of like fighting game stuff to the whole thing.
That's pretty compelling. I hope that we get to that part.
On top of like a very heavy reaction based gameplay loop of like trying to get counters in to get additional bonus chips, or in your case, like when you unlock like the additional transformations in 3, you get like super moves at like the end of like the thing. They're so cool. Oh, you're gonna fucking I will let you know. You let me know when you do the thing, and you be like, caps lock, that's fucking cool, and I'll know exactly what happened.
I do really like it when you get to do a super move in a video game.
And guess what? The super moves are space themed, so fucking get on that shit. It's so cool.
Love that.
So let's talk about Star Force 2, because as I was trying to describe, it is the what the fuck are they doing with this series sequel game, where the story quality dips majorly from the first one. The first game since we're here, and it's probably part of the backstory exposition that they were dumping on you at the start of 3. But
probably
the long and short of it is that Gio's dad went to space to try to communicate with the electromagnetic aliens that were out in the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to form a brother band with the Ephemians. But the Ephemian king had people whispering in his ear and being like, they're out to get you and kill you. You have to, like, declare war on Earth. So they kidnap the Earth crew that Gio's dad was on. And and Omega was part of that group. He was part of the the dungeon.
Oh, has anyone ever said this guy's name out
Omega
loud?
Sis.
Like, is
It's
this
Omega
Sis? Okay. Because I'm like, is that like the Greek X, like Kai? Like, what are we doing here?
It is. Unfortunately, yes, you get Omega Sis, and that man is straight as hell. Question mark. He's an alien. Anyway,
whack.
So Mega
should have been Omega Trans.
That's what the trans is for, Quinn. Heyo. So Mega is the guard for what's his name? It's Gio's dad. What, I know his name. Anyway. Kevin. So his name's Kevin. So Kevin's like, hey bro, tell me your life story. And Mega's like, are you for fucking real? Like, you're a prisoner or whatever. And then, so he's like, eventually he like whittles Mega down to the point where he's like, you know, they're going to kill us. You need to transform us into electromagnetic waves so that we can survive the vacuum of space. Otherwise, we're just straight up going to die, right? So Mega transforms the surviving crew of this ship into electromagnetic waves, and then King Cepheus, the like FM king, basically like destroys the ship, like or like cracks it apart. So then and then Earth learns that the ship was destroyed. They lost the signal. Gio is distraught, and for 3 years he's in this depressive rut with him and his mom. He doesn't go to school for 3 years. And then what the games do is that Mega shows up on Earth and basically electrocutes Gio with space waves, and then they fuse to become Mega Man. What the game does is that over time, Gio is like, I'm depressed. I want nothing to do with you and your alien bullshit. Like, I want nothing to do with people. If I open my heart to people...
Normal response to an alien taking over your body like that,
well,
BT
no,
does.
because Gio is the one in control, and Omega Sis is along for the ride. But the other aliens that are on Earth are forcefully taking over people and, like, causing mischief and mayhem and trying to find something called the Andromeda Key. And... they're like, hey, Omega Sis, where's the Andromeda Key? And he's like, eat my ass. Like, fuck off. And they're like, you got a weak body. And the kid's like, bro, I'm 10, please. Like,
please, I'm just a boy.
Why is this swan electromagnetic being taking control of this depressed, like, 30-year-old dude and then making everyone do the fucking Black Swan? Like, what is going on here? Like, it's absolute cartoon villain of the week shit. But then Gio's also like, in terms of like translation issues and everything, he's like, I'm severely depressed that I actually thought about killing myself, kind of thing.
Damn.
But in English, it's obviously a lot more softer. So the adventure of Gio in Star Force 1 is about how he has to be able to open his heart to experience like friendship and joy and to allow himself to finally live again after the death of his father. And he also gets to start helping out other people in terms of like their lonely experiences, which is why like the aliens are preying on them, because they're like, I sense their loneliness waves. And you're like, fucking what? What?
Their closed hearts make them vulnerable to our alien takeover.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So eventually it reaches the point where it's like, okay, King Cepheus is about to be on Earth, and he's like, I'm gonna destroy the Earth, with my weapon, the Andromeda Key. And then eventually what happens is that, like, it's kind of like a Neon Genesis Evangelion moment where, like, another kid who also happens to have split personality disorder willingly takes an alien's powers, which allows the split personalities to be separate bodies. That's a whole other thing. And a boss mechanic, which is actually kind of cool. And they're like, Gio, wow, you're really cool. I think we could get along. And you're like, wow, yeah, I'm finally willing to open my heart to people again. And the kid's like, ha, fuck you, stab. And he's like, oh, what the hell? And they're like, we're taking the Andromeda King, fuck off. And he's like, I'll never have friends again. So like he ends up like repeating his same stance until everyone's like, we need you, Mega Man. He's like, all right, fine, I guess. I gotta open my heart again because it's better than being lonely and in pain up below. So turns out Omega Sis also is an A-Emian and not an F-Emian because, I don't know, whatever. They need to have the aliens have an alien genocidal war.
It's Mega Man JRPG bullshit.
It's a rated E game, and they're talking about like mass genocide and all this other shit. So anyway, long and short of it, it is like a really strangely compelling story of like a kid learning to like live again with his alien friend who's also his talking arm. Then Star Force 2 happens, and they're like, all right, we don't know what the fuck to do. Shit. What do we do? Cryptids. We're gonna do cryptids on Earth. Is there gonna be any space stuff? No. Oh, okay, cool. There was also an ancient war against berserkers, ninjas, and dinosaur people, ? And then their entire cultures died off because of something called the precursor to ruin. But also everyone's so Flandersized from their original like character traits that like everyone's way too simple. Mega is saying like crikey for some reason, and everyone's like, he's Australian? Like, what is going on here? The navigation in the overworld, fucking terrible. Holy shit. It has nothing to do with space. It only has to do with cryptids. We have the Loch Ness Monster. We have Bigfoot. And I don't know what a flying bird has to do with anything, but there's like hieroglyphs in like South America or something, and that's all.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, aliens. And we're like, well, yeah, but there's no aliens in this game. So like, the fuck are we talking about here? Anyway, the gameplay is a step up because like you can actively fuse the transformations in the game. So eventually you can stack all three of them to become the Tribe King. And it's the most busted ass transformation. It's nuts. It's actually kind of nuts because like you just straight up like, oh hey, like you know that 100 power battle card that you're like, oh this is like pretty cool, like I like using this thing. It's like, let's double its power just straight up. Like if it's multi-hitting, double that. If it's a game breaking card, like just double its power. It breaks auras. You have super armor. All the elemental chips also have bonuses, and they get also double power and this whole other thing. It's nuts. Good thing that transformation is only 3 turns.
That's pretty impressive.
I beat the game. A woman became so depressed because her lover died in a war that she created an electromagnetic duplicate in the hopes that he would just remember things. But he was obviously just a clone of her dead partner. And she's like, and now I will destroy the world. And everyone's like, fucking
okay.
What? All right. This is what grief
Normal
does to
response
a
to that.
Damn. Anyway, I'm in the post-game area now for that. Before I move on to Starforce 3, I'm going to try to get like to the super boss. But the hidden area, which is, by the way, a bad future area of Earth, like everyone's like, oh, by the way, the precursor to ruin happened. Everyone just like brutalized each other. There was no living being here. And everyone's like, oh no, we gotta figure out what's going on. And the post game opens the first fight to the post game. Why do these viruses have hands? Holy shit. So I'm fighting for my life out there while trying to get like my library complete to get to the secret boss before I start Starforce 3, which is where the real fucking shit is. But my god, I'm so glad to be back in these games. But wow, I had forgotten how batshit the second game's story was, of just how absolute nonsense it is with all like the backtracking. They're like, all your friends got spread around the world. You're like, how? They're like, magic? You're like, sure, I guess. And they're like, we're gonna go to Europe and go find one friend. We're like, okay. And then we're going to go to South America to find the other one. Yeah, okay. And the other friend betrayed you to join the enemy. And you're like,
bro, what?
What? It's a whole thing. So yeah, Star Force Legacy Collection is really cool. I'm so glad it has those additional settings in the background, because otherwise I would be having a much more miserable time.
Well, damn.
So get back to me when you hit that part in Star Force 3 and we can gush about it, because it's really fucking cool.
All right, I will.
What have you been up to?
I have been playing Final Fantasy VIII, and we're on disc 3, and we are pretty like shortly after the big plot twist event thing where you find out that the sorcerer Sisay is being controlled by Ultimisia from the future, whose ultimate game plan is time compression. And now we're gearing up to go to the moon. Because
typical Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah, but the way that this is happening is like not even a thing that made like I really don't feel like the dots that they are connecting are dots that should be connected or make sense to connect.
You're looking at the pinup board. You're like,
how are we getting from here to here, bro? What? Like the fuck, I forget what exactly her name is, but there's a character who they like have taken to the moon. I guess they never explained that the thing is on the moon is the thing.
Right, there was no
just
like proper lead
yeah,
up to
she's
the thing.
at the lab. If you want to talk to girl, you got to come with us and go to the lab. And he's like, okay. So he follows their instructions. They're telling him to go to the launch pad, and he's like, okay, cool. He goes to the launch pad, and then they're like, all right, who's going to the moon? And he's like, okay, I'm going to the moon. And I'm just like, bro, what? Why are you so normal about this?
Yeah.
How did we get from here to here? You don't think it was worth mentioning that the lab was on the moon from like a couple of speech bubbles and screens ago?
Like, I really would have felt like this would have been a more satisfying payoff if you like literally gave me a hint that this was the thing.
Yeah, I just really did not see that coming. And I'm also just like also having the whiplash of the sorceress Sisay being mind controlled by Ultimisia from the future plot twist. Like, this game is going some places, and I want to see this through, but man, they're
like, no, but your suspension of disbelief, and you're like, I don't know about this, fam.
I don't know about this one, man.
Just like,
I'm still very in it for Squall and Renoa's love story. I really want to see that through because I do hear that that's narratively satisfying. I just need to like come to peace with what's going on in the game and buckle my fucking seatbelt back up. We have kind of taken a break from it because we needed to do other things besides play Final Fantasy games, and we've already spent quite a few hours on that game. But yeah, we're gonna lock back in.
Yeah, it's those old well, I say old, but I mean it is old, like it's fucking PS1 era, like all ye old PS1 era RPGs where wow, they really did ask a lot from you.
I think it is pretty unique of Final Fantasy VIII, actually.
Yeah,
There's a lot of the other Final Fantasies, you can kind of see them ramping into you will have to go to the moon at some point or to space at some point. But this one, really, it feels like it blindsides you with that. And it's already taking some huge swings in the terms of the junctions and GF system and all of that to like make your stats and the magic that you have access to, like all of that is like you were taking some huge fucking swings, Final Fantasy, but I'm along for the ride for that. And then they take even more swings with the story, and I'm like, okay, you're kind of pushing it, but I'll see it through.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay, like I should have discredited this to you because like my impression of Final Fantasy VIII has just always been mixed because I remember bits and pieces of the Spoonie experiment, like this YouTuber who reviewed Final Fantasy VIII, and it was like a several part review And it was like various different parts for various different lengths, and the guy's just like, why do I have to draw these spells? Like, this is the most, this is not, like, this is terrible. This is fucking terrible. I hate this. Why did they do this? They're like, why did they have to make me...
It's definitely not for everyone, but I liked being everyone's a blue mage. That was entertaining to me.
Yeah, like, there's enough gameplay elements for you to get into the mix and get yourself through it. But yeah, just dog, it ain't for me, and God, please make a remake that like just also make a remake that's just like one
remake
game.
whose stats system doesn't scare the hoes.
Yeah, like do what you're doing with like Final Fantasy 13, but don't do like what you're doing. Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 7. I mean, don't do what you're doing with the Final Fantasy remake trilogy ? On trilogy.
Yeah, we're maybe going too far if we're doing 3 games for 1 game.
But it's also Final Fantasy VII, and people are a bunch of certified freaks about it. And I've watched grown men. I've watched grown men fucking cry because they're like, "It's fucking Final Fantasy VII, bro. Check out those fucking polygons, man." Like, yeah.
Well, the thing about Final Fantasy VII is it is peak.
Yes. Yep.
So, like, I get it.
Like, have you seen the main characters of Final Fantasy VII? They're pretty fucking cool.
I really like to look at Cloud is the thing. And if they put Cloud on screen in HD for a long time, then that is good because I get to look at Cloud for a long time.
Have you seen Final Fantasy VII Advent Children? That was a bad movie, but it was also
I have actually seen that.
I know you have, but what I'm saying, like, in the general sense of, have you seen that shit? It's fucking awesome. And like, you know, some people are, they're like, yeah, but it's a bad. I'm like, I don't care. The narrative makes absolute fucking nonsense. The English dub is a fucking travesty. Why is any of this stuff happening? How does it make sense? Holy shit, it's Sephiroth. I don't give a fuck. Have you listened to the remix? Have you fought the remix? Like, have you listened to the remixes? Like, there's fucking, I don't get Bahamut Sin show. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. I'm gonna go on.
It's fucking peak. I have no idea what happens in that movie. The plot is like, no idea.
Whoever was the director for the Marvel said that she was inspired by Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and I said, I should watch this fucking Marvel movie. And you know what? I kind of get it. You know, I saw some stuff from like, yep, this is sick. We are wildly off on a tangent here. So good. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, so
it's will fine. Video games are peak.
Yeah, you will be getting back in and probably finishing Final Fantasy VIII in the near future, I imagine.
Yeah, where discs 3 and 4 are not as long as 1 and 2, from what I've read on the internet. A lot of that space is taken up by animations and whatnot.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, everything is reaching the apex of what the game can do.
Yeah, we're getting to the cinematic climaxes, and then we'll just wrap that on up. I don't know if we're going to do any bonus content. We'll see. I think Doom Train is a summon that I just don't know if I'm going to get because I don't want to farm Malboros. They're fucking miserable.
Yeah, no, and not much more. I love how, where was it? Was it in LCP? When you're like, yeah, you could put in Malboro, and someone's like, whomps? And you're like, here's the card. It's Malboro.
Oh, yeah, somebody was looking for, I think, finishers for their Dance Macabre list, and I'm like, this guy shreds hands, shreds libraries, shreds life totals, play him. And they were like, yeah, it does. You can do a lot of psychic damage by resolving the Malboro. And then the same day, I think I just posted one with, like, 0 context on Blue Sky with just the, like, :3 face. And people were like, Malboro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, Malboro, the Magic the Gathering card from the Final Fantasy.
Yeah, he's very fun to be the worst with.
Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. You know, for someone who said that he was going to start watching the second season of Ghost in the Shell,
I did not start watching the second season of Ghost in the Shell. That's okay, because I didn't watch the Chronicles of Riddick either, so we're fine.
Oh, okay. So we've balance has been maintained. We've achieved absolutely nothing. We're shaking hands. I started rewatching Gundam 00 as I was like, if you know me,
cool robot.
Yeah, cool robot. One cool robot because I've been playing Gundam G Generation G Eternal. The good old gotcha game that, yep, it got my wallet, god damn it. But
Damn.
for the free-to-play players, or for at least all the free-to-play content, they released the second season of Gundam 00, which includes just basically Super Robot 00 Riser, that literally can transform into particles and then teleport itself. Like, holy shit, like we've reached new levels of real robot into super robot.
What
So I was like,
fuck?
okay, Quinn. I could tell you a whole thing about it, but we don't have the time. So anyway, I was like, okay, let's start rewatching 00 because of the whole thing. This was the series made around 2008, I think. So it was after Gundam Seed, and I can't remember if there was any other series in the meantime. And of course, the other reason for going back and watching a non-Universal Century show was because I'm so fucking sick and goddamn tired of Universal Century schlock.
Vine boom his ass. This dude doesn't like Universal Century.
My soul is not bound by Earth. I don't care, because Char Aznavour's last words before he fucking died was like, Lala Sue would be something like a mother to me, and then Amuro said, "What the fuck, bro?" And then they exploded. Anyway, Gundam 00 is basically, what if Gundam Wing was good and made more sense, and people weren't threatening to blow up their Gundam every second episode?
Do the Gundam got wings, though?
Yes, some of them do, in fact. One of them even turns into a plane. Who knew? Gundam 00 is, the long and short of it is, within the first 2 episodes, a Gundam shows up and everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And the guy picks up a pair of binoculars and looks up to the inscribed word Gundam on the forehead of one. And goes like, it's a Gundam. And they're like, okay. These machines are flying around with no emission. Like, the only emission that they have is not like a thruster. It's like green particles just flowing out of them, and they just achieve lift. They have literally like frictionless lift. Like, it's the future is here now. Everyone's like trying to get their piece of the pie, and these guys just show up and just start shrekking everyone. And they're like, hey world, what's up? We're celestial being. We're committing war crimes on everyone because we need to eradicate war. So I guess maybe
what?
that part's as nonsensical as Gundam Wing, but hear me out. Their goal is to unify the world against celestial being as an organization to eradicate war, because most of the world is split off only in like 3 groups, and they're all against each other. Like, they're all just constantly fighting wars with each other. And so celestial beings like, stop fighting each other and fight me instead. And if you don't fight with each other against me, we're going to kill you all. And everyone's like, holy shit, they might have a point, but I don't trust those 2 other people. How do I do it? And then the entire series is about that. And I won't elaborate further because it still fucking holds up and it's fucking awesome. The main character, I will say, I will give this little tidbit. His name is Setsuna F. He's 16 years old. He's from the Middle East. He used to be a child soldier, a religious child soldier, realized, wow, that shit's fucked up and beyond traumatizing when you just start killing everyone in the name of God. And then he looked up into the sky and he saw a Gundam emitting light like it had wings. And he said, I want to be that. So then he goes around saying, I am Gundam. And everyone's like, kid, are you okay?
No, he's not okay.
No,
The
kid is very much not okay, but his Gundam's pretty cool because he's got a folding sword and all this other stuff. Anyway, yeah, Gundam 00. I've only just started the rewatch, but it is very fun to watch how it all gets started again and be like, what are the things that I don't remember and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's cool to watch stuff. It's cool to sit down and like actually watch stuff for once, you know?
Yeah. I have not been sitting down and actually watching stuff, but I did sit my ass down and, hey, y'all remember reading?
Oh, Christ. What is a book? What is paper?
I read a whole ass book over the past couple of days.
That's crazy.
I was reminded that Peter V. Brett's The Demon Cycle series was finished, and I forgot that I was waiting for the fifth book there.
I've heard of a lot of book series and a lot of writers, never heard about this person at all in my life.
Alright, well, look that shit up because it fucking rips. So I finished book 1, and you know how when you finish a book and then the next book in the series is available, so you immediately, you're stepping out of the portal and you scramble for your portal controller, we have to go back so you can start the book immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that felt like. I needed to get right back into that world. So we picked that one up. Big fan of this world's magic system and the monsters, and they fucking explain the rules in a way that is just deliciously textured for my brain. Big fan of that level of crunch. And I've actually been referencing this when I've been playing Magic for years. Every time I tell someone that I'm going to test their wards when I attack into open mana, this is where that comes from.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that if I read these books, we could be more drift compatible and I'll know what the fuck you're talking about?
I can't promise that you'll know what the fuck that I'm talking about, but entirely possible it can increase drift compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess, sync rate. There we go. Increase the sync rate. Yeah, so humans in this world, they have magic symbols that connect to other magic symbols that can be drawn together to form a ward net and protect their structures from demons who they can't interface with these wards. They try and smash through the barrier that's drawn by these wards, and the magic in that is built to siphon the demon magic and reflect it back at them. There's different wards for different purposes, and the humans in that universe, there were wards that were fighting wards, that you could use to paint on your weapons and make them more efficient at cutting and absorbing the demon strength and putting that into your next hit, and just doing the feedback loop that way. But we lost those. We lost those a very long time ago, past civilization type beat.
Damn.
So they're in the third age of man or whatever, and the demons are just fucking preying on humanity, hunting them pretty close to extinction, and they're doing what they can with the wards that they have, but without the combat wards of old, they're eventually going to be overrun by all of the demons and die. I didn't fucking finish explaining. The demons, they look for vulnerabilities in ward nets that have been drawn by just smashing into them methodically and seeing where they can find the weaknesses that are formed by poorly drawn wards or misaligned connections or things like that. Where just if you fucked up and left a hole in your net, the demons are going to find that vulnerability and smash through it. And that's what I'm doing when I'm swinging into open mana. I'm looking for that vulnerability in your ward net and smashing through it.
Cool. Yeah. That's all right. I mean, I guess. See, I've been thinking about it is such a funny thing because when I think about reading, I haven't read a book. Well, I guess I'm kind of telling on myself, but whatever. God damn it, I do read a lot of fan fiction. It's just been one of the easiest ways for me to be okay,
yeah, whatever, that counts.
No, it counts because god damn it, there's so many people that literally put out free content people put out free content all the time for whatever.
For the love of the fucking game.
They're hey, you and me? Yeah, me? You? What? They're hey, your favorite characters in that media you like. You're yeah, I love that media. What are you doing? They're I'm gonna sell you a book. And you're damn, that really is a book. That is several thousand words and several dozen chapters of
yeah,
whatever.
Bitches be doing whole ass literature and shit
and
on
so,
there.
I haven't read a book in I haven't read a book in forever, but I'm always fucking reading because it's it's so fun and sometimes really distracting when you're fuck, it's 1 a.m. I gotta fucking put this book down or I'm never gonna fucking get fucking sleep right. But then you also remember there's like actual printed media, people being like, oh, hey, by the way, like, you know, you can actually like, yes, there are some people who like put out like a fan fiction or whatever where you can actually pay them because like, you know, for fuck's sakes, you're reading their shit and they're putting a lot of work and effort into it. And some people are like, yeah, I'm a full-time student and I work a part-time job and I just ripped this like really compelling like 20 chapter story of like your favorite media. And you're just like, is this a superpower? What the fuck? Like, who are you? Like,
yeah,
what
dude,
are you made
people
of?
are out here doing that shit because they physically can't not. They cannot shut up.
But then the obvious trade-off is that like, not that fan fictions are necessarily just like regurgitations of like existing media, and then they get to like people get to put like their headcanons and like whatever into it. But like you remember that people are like, oh hey, by the way, like here's fictional media that's fantasy and the demon cycle where demons do shit that you just described for those books. And I'm like, fuck, that sounds so fucking awesome. And I can't like what media have I consumed? There people and characters and magic systems like that exist, and it's all like broken down across different things. But how about if someone collected them all and put them in a book series, and then you read that shit and you're like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And like then I'm like, all right, fine, I gotta fucking like sit down and do it. Like this is reminding me, not unless there was something else for you to say about this, because about the series.
No, I'm just get into that. I'll hook you up.
Yeah. So I'm thinking of every once in a blue moon. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can find the name for this one. Or hold on. Cool. Don't edit this out. But like, you know, so okay. So The Wind Singer was a series that I got into. My mom she bought a book. It was never like it's part of like a trilogy, I think. Or something, or like maybe it's like long-winded, but I've only got the copy of The Wind Singer. I read that thing like several times when I was in high school, and it's very like young adult novels where the a town like it initially seems like it's a mundane like story where it's kind of the Hunger Games like esque like dystopian city environments that have giant walls from the outside world. Everyone's broken down into like a caste system, and if you ostracize yourself too much, you get put into like the Grey House, which is like the bottom tier of the caste system. You're like, oh, that's like really fucking cool. And then the kids like manage to break out of the town because like they're like causing too much stuff. They're like, hey, the status quo fucking sucks. None of this is fucking fair. And then like they're like, oh, like they eventually start encountering like a magical being like outside in the world that like kind of lures them to like its domain. And you're like, whoa, this is like really creepy. And like you were flashing back between like the kids who escaped and the family back in the town who was like, I don't know where our kids are, but you know what? Our kids are pretty inspirational. So it's time to cause a fucking riot and maybe cause like a huge like societal shift because this is my form of resistance. And then we go back to the kids and they have a dragon companion with them. And the kid is like, he's also low caste and like he's made fun of because he's got physical deformities or he doesn't look attractive and he's not very intelligent. So like they just people, you know, form a like he's the target of bullying and all this other stuff. And the kid turns out very susceptible to like the luring voice of like this magical being. I couldn't tell you who it was because it's been a long time. But then you learn that like there's obviously societies outside of the city and like other kids have been indoctrinated by this thing. And the two main kids, like brother and sister, managed to like avoid being brought into it, except I think the brother eventually did and then quickly got pulled out of it. But the third kid gets reshaped into like a quote unquote ideal form, like fix his deformities, make him a beautiful baby boy or like whatever, right? Like basically I'm like, oh shit, they fucking eugenics this kid to like make him like perfect. Like they magic this kid to like, and then they did this creepy thing where like the marching, like they made a marching band of eternally youthful kids who are all dressed to the nines, and it's literally a marching band singing about like the magical being, and they're like, we're gonna go to the city and break into the walls and I'm like, what the fuck? This is like some of the creepiest shit that I've ever read, and it's so fucking compelling because like you're seeing the kids like try to wrestle with authority and be rebellious, and they're like, we have never encountered magic before in our lives, and suddenly it exists. Like, what the fuck is going on here? So turns out The Wind Singer is like a trilogy or a quadrilogy of books. And I'm like, wait, never looked into like the sequels or anything, like the one and done.
Might be time to fucking do it, dude.
Yeah, I know. And then there was another book series. Like I went to the bookstore and I'm like, well, I don't want to just drop like 20 or 30 bucks on a book right now. What's on the on sale section? And I'm going to have to look it up because I'm not going to be able to find it right now because The Wind Singer, I'm like, I know what the title of that was. There was another book series. And it was a series, but I only got the book because it was $5. I was like, oh, easy.
While you're looking at that, the Wind Singer series reminds me a lot of the Ugliest series with its sequels, Pretty, Specials, and Extras. They do a similar sort of they take the people and they make them beautiful, and there's like different levels of society based on attractiveness, and there's people who live outside the city walls that the people find out about, and then there's some like escape and then rebellion and then complete reformation of society.
Yeah. That is not, yeah. So there was another book series, and the only thing that tipped me off about the book was that it was like kind of like this kind of steampunk series look where like the cover art had a giant wind sail ship like that was flying through the sky, excuse me. And the only thing I vaguely remember was that one of the characters that was kind of like the main character's love interest was that she was possessed by a fire djinn, and like it like possessed her, or she was like prophesized to do something or whatever. And the guy's like, wait, hold on a second. This is kind of fucked. So I'm going to try to figure it out because part of me is like, that was always the one series that I remember reading it. Like, it's kind of goofy to say where I'm like, these books, it was like one of the best $5 reads that I've ever done in my life. And then I didn't do anything like looking further into it, which is so fucking stupid.
It's killing me.
No, I know. And then I'm like, I gotta find out what it is. And now that I'm reaching this point where I'm like, okay, Amazon's shutting down their like fucking digital book selling thing or whatever. Like I vaguely read this, and I read Amazon. I was like, yeah, they would fucking do that, wouldn't they? And it's like it's the stupid it's the anti-AI quit selling me a rental so I can own the fucking thing. You know, it's time to go back to physical media. And I'm like, I got to go find and figure out what the fuck that book series was and see if I can buy all the physical copies. Cause like, I know I need to do it. I can't keep looking at a screen all the time. Probably touching some paper would be as good for my soul as going out to touch grass, you know?
You know, the cool thing about physical books is you can take those outside with you while you're touching grass, so you can touch paper while you touch grass.
Yeah. Yeah, so, hey, as it turns out, reading books is really cool. And I had some friends who did loan me, a few books and everything. And it's like, you know, when we were moving, hold on. Is this it? Hold on. I think I figured it out. Thank you, Google, and just random keyword searches. You haven't completely shit the bed yet. No, I just fucking had it. You son of a bitch. Where'd you go? The Winds of Calicovo by Bradley B. Bolio. Yeah. Quote unquote. Sand-blasted fantasy epic set in the desert kingdom of Sharakai. I don't know. Yeah. Airships that navigate twisting air currents above a city that rests on a mountainous archipelago in the middle of a treacherous sea. Yeah, fuck it. And it's Russian? Fuck it. Yeah, sure. I'm like 1/8 Russian. Fuck it. I need to get in that. Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing, right? Like, this shit has been in some way, shape, or form inspirational to me. Even if I'm like, I forgot what the fucking title is. Or all that other shit, right? Best $5 pickup I've ever had, and reading is good for the soul. And it keeps your brain sharp, too, when you're, like, trying to, imagine these world spaces. If they give you enough details, your brain takes care of the rest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, the worlds that we're able to conjure based on the words that people put on pages. And that exercise for your brain feels good.
All right. So we are now fully an hour into the Magic the Gathering podcast.
Now that we're out of the fucking media dimension, do you want to talk about some fucking vibe checks on our Magic the Gathering show?
Yeah. Let's. I've yapped enough for the time being. Give me yours for this episode.
Alright, so I am vibe checking Gorma the Gullet, the backup commander from the Witherbloom Pestilence precon from the set Secrets of Strixhaven Commander. Gorma the Gullet is a legendary creature pest frog for 1 a black and a green. It's a 1/1 with lifelink, and whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Gorma. And non-token creatures you control enter with an additional +1/+1 counter on them for each creature that died under your control this turn. I fucking did not clock that this could enable persist combos, which I'm rolling my eyes about.
Yeah, just big sigh, whatever, who cares?
Alright, anyway, we acknowledge that this can enable infinite combos. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I want to talk about how this is a fucking 1/1 with lifelink that comes down on turn 3, the turn after you play the blade, and becomes a 4/3, and then you get to swinging, and it's only going to grow from there. You need to just slap a couple more keywords on this, maybe some trample, maybe some menace, just fucking get in there.
Yeah, I was gonna get a Garrick's Uprising going on or whatever.
Get a Garrick's Uprising in there.
Yeah. I too only learned today that Gorma was a crazy nutty combo engine legend. And I was like, well, if I had any interest in this card, which I do not, I definitely don't now.
I played it in the 99 of this deck that we'll talk about later. It was very cool to sacrifice a Eldrazi spawn or Scion, I don't know which it was, and then have the mana that I used to cast a creature, and then the creature enters with a +1/+1 counter because it it saw the thing that I used to pay for it die. That's a cool feedback loop. I'm into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you gain life, which has been a very notorious fucking issue with some of our games recently.
It's fucking killing me. I do all of this fucking sermoning. I go
You
on
gained
tirades.
70 life in a pre-con battle. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Where was your commander damage answer?
I had a Planeswalker. I won't be going over that. I also hit you for 60 bajillion damage, so it didn't matter.
You could have stopped it, gamers. I gave you all the clues.
Let's talk about my vibe check that we'll probably hear about later on the LCP podcast when I give a full proper kind of breakdown. But hey, let's talk about Carol History Buff.
Yeah, tell me about them.
Hey, Signpost Legend from the new Secrets of Strixhaven set. We got a red and a white for 2/3 Vampire Cleric that is one of those prepared cycle of cards where they become prepared and then you can cast their attached instant or sorcery. So Carol says whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, Carol becomes prepared. Then you can cast the spell Pack a Punch. It's a sorcery, mill a card, put 2 +1 counters on target creature against trample until end of turn. I don't know. You set up your little engine that makes you find ways to get cards to leave your graveyard. Then you put the Hero's Blade out. Then you put Carol out, attach the blade. Then do the thing that allows Carol to be prepared. And then you cast Pack a Punch as a base 5/5, become a 7/7, start fucking swinging.
It seems decent to me.
I've been looking at this card because here's the thing. I still have that uncommon commander content creator in me. And I saw the cycle of the Strixhaven dragons and was like, disgusted.
Well, that's a little loud for my taste.
That is, I allowed myself to be loud with one of them, and even then I'm on thin fucking ice, but I'm like, hold on a second, let's take a look at this uncommon cycle among the other uncommon legends that they put in the set, which some of them read pretty damn good. Carol was like, I'm like, what are they up to? Like, besides being a fucking buff vampire.
They're fucking shredded. History buff is such a funny pun.
Picking up a pillar, like dislodging it and being like, vibe check, and just fucking.
And they know how to use it. In the story, they fucking whack a spirit that's trying to step to them. They're just like, all right, well, we tried the peaceful way. Whack.
Yeah. And the other thing too, and again, we'll be hearing about this in the review. I look at Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch reads way better than it should for 3 mana, and it feels like it compares to another spell that is literally the same mana, also puts 2/1 counters and gives trample, but it also happens to give a bunch of other keywords. This is just Angel Fire Ignition attached to a body minus like the lifelink and the vigilance. And
I mean, the lifelink and the vigilance are pretty huge, so I understand people's trepidation at comparing the two, but in the actual gameplay experience, this is gonna fucking put you in the dirt.
And again, as it turns out, I've been talking to a bunch of people. I mean, we could talk about it in a bit when we kind of talk about Secrets of Strixhaven, but I think some of the prepared cards probably read way worse than they probably play, and some read too well, so like maybe they won't be as effective. I just feel as if,
I agree.
Fingers crossed, the average. I just hope they're all mids, just straight up. Let's just start with that. I just hope they're all a bunch of mids, and that's all cool.
I really wanted the Wheel of Fortune prepared spell to play a lot better than it actually does, but it is not often that I am finding gamers who satisfy the requirement that I can actually prepare the Vizier, and I'm not getting to cast Wheel of Fortune, and I would like to be getting to cast Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, so it's like, in terms of what I'm looking at for Carol and like that cycle of uncommons, I'm like, they probably end up being better. And if you want a more low powered commander, this is probably the way you want to go, especially if you want something new with like a new mechanic to try to work with. Yeah, I don't know. Go for it. I think this is Carol's pretty sweet. I might give it a go in the near future. Worked out pretty well in the pre-con as well.
Yeah, they were a solid role player when you were playing that deck. You were definitely getting to make plenty of fucking spirits, so I'm glad that you found all of the cards that you needed to make cards leave the graveyard. I know a lot of people, at least that the pieces of content that I was listening to, are struggling to find an engine to remove cards from their graveyard. But I don't know. Seems like you did all right.
Yeah, because no one blew up my shit. That was a whole other thing.
That guy who has the Wheel of Fortune in his pocket is Noctum Lore Spinner. We got his name wrong. We got it correct now, though.
All right. So that was vibe checks. Notes. It's time to go to comments. We got quite a few this time.
The people really resonated with last episode, and the feedback is super appreciated. I love to hear all of it. We can start off with Questioning Feldogriff, who says, I listened to this twice. It's good to make sure I didn't hear Questioning Feldogriff mentioned in the Smoking Mid segment. It wasn't. That card is not mid.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the line that Lenny is constantly walking when it comes to smoking mids, and especially when we eventually get back in there. Sometimes we veer a little too close to too good, and we want to stay back in the realm of just mids. Turns out it's pretty difficult once you go out of the vacuum and be like, oh, holy shit, this card's way too busted. What's Light got to say for us?
Cole, I'm gonna need you to explain that one. Brandon, you ever heard of Shrek 2? Cole, Yeah, Brandon, there you have it. Just fucking...
Like, and that's it. And you're like, no, Brandon, I need you to elaborate. Light also says here, incredible smoking mids transition, which I'm like, yeah, I felt
Thank
pretty
you.
good
That was
about.
a great time.
Because I was like, hey, how come we get in? Let's pretend that we're listening through like the gate, the door, whatever you want to do. I'm like, hey, I can't get in. What's going on here? That's the cool thing about having creative liberty, to just be like, how can I transform this moment to not only be like more funny than it needs to be, but also like feels appropriate for the scenario.
Yeah, all of the stuff that we did on the mic is greatly elevated by your editing efforts, and so we appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Let's see what Steven has to say.
Yeah, damn, banger of an episode, folks. Love the commandeered smoking midsection. As always, hilarious. Y'all are fabulous. Peak entertainment of this week for sure. Thank you so much, Steven.
Yeah. Again, it seemed like a very, very resonant episode. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. So, big things coming always, and I guess we have to keep trying to raise the bar. No big pressure or anything.
No, it's fine. Just keep being yourself. That's what it's all about. That's what people come every week to hear, us being ourselves on the mic.
No, it's time to get into that self-destructive grind set where we're no longer recognizable.
I'm pelting you with tomatoes.
Lobster says, fire episode. I'm listening to this thing, and minute by minute, I become the living embodiment of the Vince McMahon.
That meme is so fucking funny.
That dude is such a fucking asshole, but it is so funny. When I heard Micro's sweet, sweet voice in the Smoking Mid submission, just pure fucking cinema. Great job, everyone. Love, love, love it. Yeah.
Thank you, Lobster. Super appreciate
Mike
it.
was bringing like the fucking batshit fucking energy.
Absolutely fire smoking mids episode.
Yeah. What does Drakeolution have to say?
Have to take some tips from Brandon this episode. My builds are so commander centered that I stall on most of my builds. Need to learn how to make my decks function better without the head of the deck. Yeah, you gotta be flexible. You gotta be swift as the coursing river, you know?
Yeah. Again, maybe I will do a very loose soapbox at the end of the episode, but
yeah, if you feel like it. If you've got something you want to get off your chest.
We'll find out.
All right. Cranky up next with the heart emoji says, I was mentioned. You sure were, beloved.
Yeah, Brandon was like, maybe Cranky's right. Maybe I am fucking bitched. Maybe I am the villain. Maybe I am the Phoenix. Cranky fucking killed me. After I was talking about like the whole Days of Our Lives Phoenix thing, and then he copy and pasted every single death that had happened to Stefano, and I'm actually going to take a moment to go back to it because I'm like, I forgot how fucking ridiculous this was. Like, let me break it down for you, okay? So this was the timeline, and you have to remember, like, this is a soap opera that's been going on for, like, fucking 60 goddamn years or something fucking insane, right?
Entirely too long.
Entirely too long. Okay, so Stefano's fake deaths in order in the timeline, either where he faked them himself, was presumed dead, or was reported dead by others, and this is, again, a constantly increasing scale of bullshit. So he had a stroke in 1983. It was revealed to be a fake heart attack. In 1984, his car plunged into the icy water of Salem's Harbor during a police chase. In 95, Marlena, one of the characters in the show, shot him and he fell from a catwalk as the building caught fire. He also had a brain tumor. In 91, he was presumed to have died in another fire and cave collapse.
What the fuck?
In 94, hey, my birth year, his car erupted into a fireball after being shot at by John, who was Marlena's husband. Also in 94, he drowned near Maison Blanche, which means they thought he died in the same year, and then he showed back up, and then he fucking quote unquote died again. 2 years later, 96, he died in a plane explosion. Also later in 96, he was blown up and buried under a collapsing tunnel during a confrontation with Rachel Blake. This was his last depicted death until 2007. I'm losing it. 2002, Andre Demera, which I'm pretty sure was his son, claimed that his uncle died from injuries sustained from a car crash in Monte Carlo. 2004, when Milena and the presumed dead Salem soccer victims found a blackened, unrecognizable corpse, Tony Demera was like the son, so it's like Andre posing as Tony, claimed it was Stefano. Andre said he had killed Stefano by draining his blood so Andre could cure his own blood disease.
What the actual
We are
fuck?
going into like just absolute nonsense. 2007, his death was faked once again as a setup by, I'm not gonna, whatever. Fake death, appears to stab him, drugged, fake funeral to lure out Andre for his crimes. In 2012, Stefano Demira was shot dead from behind after several characters confronted him about his crimes. Blah, 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 framing murder, blah, 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 Stefano's alive and not killed. He was shot 3 times in 2006, and that was the last time he showed up physically on the show because the actor, I'm pretty sure, actually died at that time. Because again, these shows have been going on literally since like we were never born, like 20 or 30 years like beforehand. In 2020, last one, we'll move on. Stefano's consciousness, which had previously been implanted into Steve Johnson, wow, what a generic name, through a microchip. That is literally the plot of the Joker Returns in Batman Beyond. What the fuck? The microchip was removed and then destroyed, and he had been physically dead since 2016.
What
Holy
the actual
fuck.
fuck?
My mom watched this shit for years. There's people who literally have been on the show since they were teenagers. They're now in their 60s and 70s or God knows what. Or they fucking died. They've been on the show so long. They literally acted on the show as these characters until they fucking died. And then they were like, you know what? We're going to keep bringing back Stefano Demira.
People are like, you know what? Every time Stefano shows up, the people lose their shit. Bring him back.
Oh, God. Fucking hell. Well, thank you for coming along that journey with us, everyone.
Ooh.
Yes, Cranky mentioned. Let's go on to Agent Washington.
Yeah, as the gamer that had their avison tucked and their hopes dashed by Sphinx's Rev. Wow. Cool deck. Thank you so much, and congratulations on getting to the end of an episode. I know that you previously did not have the time to do that, especially with our penchant for releasing 4-hour episodes.
The episode count time is going up rapidly. Jeez, sorry.
Whoops.
Whoops days.
Yeah, congrats on making it through, and thank you.
Agent Murdoch, yo Cole, you want some mono blue artifacts that punch people in the face. Check Senator Peacock out. Sack 1 artifact creature to draw and make another unblockable. Yeah. Did I end up sleeving that into the... Agent Peacock, or Senator Peacock, excuse me, was in Piper Wright. And I think it was on the chopping block. Can't remember. Also, just a very good card.
Yeah, Senator Peacock has hands.
Finding more ways, just, I don't know, clue synergies continue to just be fucking awesome. And an archetype that I just deeply enjoy. Now comes the part where everyone is fucking betraying me, and I can't
We're getting your
believe
ass
it.
in the group chat, and you fucking deserve it, my guy. We got Jim, who says it's left-handed Link. Sorry, Cole. Andy, who says Quinn is right about Zelda. Destroyander, who says funny thing with Twilight Princess. My first playthrough was on the Wii U remake, and my fiance played the Wii version years ago. Every time she gave me hints on where to go, it turned out to be the exact opposite side of the world. GameCube/Wii U version over Wii always. Also, everyone should play Mega Man Star Force. Phenomenal games. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
to every one of you for the support and the validation that Left-Handed Link is correct and that Cole is playing the wrong version.
Whatever. Anyway. First of all, I know you're correct. Second of all, fuck you all. Third of all, Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be Moonchild's friend?
Yeah, the thing about Moonchild is you have the power to be his friend.
So let's fucking get on fucking Moonchild, right?
Yeah.
Moonchild, whoa, you got the power to be his friend. It's Moonchild, whoa, you got the power to be his friend. It's Moonchild, whoa, you got the power to be his friend. It's Moonchild, whoa.
It's the beginning of a new and excitingly different. True.
I don't know. Okay, spoiler alert. I don't know what the final version that Empress Quinn is going to be bringing to the table. I will say, though, this has been the most what do they call it? Fucking earworm. Fucking yeah. Just fucking locked in my head ever since I saw it. And I'll tell you this story. So I'm scrolling through I'm scrolling through Blue Sky, and I follow I follow a bunch of Magic the Gathering people, but I also follow a bunch of gaming, like video gaming people. Mm-hmm. And someone reposted the video, and there was the thing of like the Moonchild image, and I was like, cool. And it was like the video, and they're like, everyone, you need to unmute and you need to listen to the music, because I promise you it is not what you expected. And I'm like, okay, I scrolled past it like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, okay, curiosity, let's find out. It's Moonchild. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fucking bangs, actually.
It's so good. It's so good. So I hope you all enjoyed that. We are now, for the time being, free. We are released from our Moonchild obligations. But we will forever be his friend. In our hearts and minds. Let's go to creative media. I see you don't have shit here.
I completely forgot about the creative media section, but I have been listening to the Time Waster 9000, the Decked Out podcast, just the usual places. Spike Feeders in particular put out their gameplay series of Strixhaven Brews, the Strixhaven Brews Gauntlet. There we go, that's what it's called. They put that out. Go watch that, because they didn't get the opportunity to do the preview content with Strixhaven precons and cards from Wizards. They had to just do that shit on their own. But hey, brews are still very cool decks, and the gameplay rips. Check it out.
Legendary Creature podcast just came out with these guys, I always love it when they're like, okay, we are now finally released from this demon of obligation by getting these things out. So to finalize their school of spell slinging as appropriate for the Strixhaven thing, they released an episode today, or yesterday night / this morning, for the listeners' decks, for people in the Legendary Creature podcast Discord. I'm nearly at the end of it. I had to drop it off earlier because some stuff was going on. I've been busy today getting some other stuff ready for this episode. But yeah, they are now released. We're going to be going into Secrets of Strixhaven review season for those episodes, so I'm looking forward to that. Excuse me. Other than that, I haven't really done a whole. I haven't watched or read or done much in terms of Magic the Gathering related stuff, except that I did come across the recent short that they did of Quinn and Craig, because they are still doing the podcast short bit. But they're doing it just for all the other sets, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God.
Yeah, they paid for those puppets. They better fucking use them, and they look like they are. So thank you, Wizards, because I like to see them.
They are hilarious. They are so good. Money's worth, coming out the wazoo. Yeah. And again, I put it here, but and we did it at the top of the episode. But really, go check out SpaceGirl's story. All the tracks that you've been listening to already here on Here's Play 5 Check. All proceeds go to Quinn. I am not involved. Go download that album. It's fucking awesome. And of course, obviously, by the time that we did last episode, we were still in the middle of previews for Secrets of Strixhaven and the Commander set, and now we are here.
So many people have been showing me pre-release kits with fucking 2 Elder Dragons in them. Brother, what the fuck?
Yeah, this set is it's kind of a little fucked up, am I right? There's some things that are
the power level on the set seems like it's pretty high, which gamers like strong cards, so cool.
Yep. There is a part of me that does really enjoy stupid busted shit, but I also can't take the fucking heat when stupid busted shit is coming back my way. So I'm like, please do not be casting Prismari against me because I might not be prepared and I might be the weakest link that allows the Prismari player to like win the game.
Yeah, I have a brew of that we're playing in the Sweaty Bracket 3 metagames.
Yeah, it's
good card.
It's a good card.
Also, Flow State is apparently legacy playable.
Fucking hold on. Okay, first of all, I know a lot of people were like, "Oh man, like this set seems super sweet. Pre-releases are like sold out and all this other stuff, right?" Like, and I totally believe that. But hold on, Flow State. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on.
All right.
Then you meant to put two of them in your hand. Quinn, this is just stock up. They just printed stock up again. They printed quote unquote. Why are they? Okay, stop. Okay, hold on. So they put stock up in the Mystical Archive. Okay, first of all, Mystical Archive is also fucking nutty.
Beautiful,
it's
absolutely
fucking
gorgeous.
insane.
Wild fucking powerful Magic the Gathering cards in there. And yes, Stock Up has a Mystical Archive printing, which, thank you, blessed be.
Yeah, and then they print Flow State, which I immediately I skimmed the fucking card because what Magic the Gathering player loves to read cards? Come on, we don't have fucking time for that. I immediately was like, that's just fucking Stock Up 2.0 because you're definitely going to be having an instant sorcery card in your graveyard when you're casting these things. And that's not surprising that it's gonna be like that. It's like, okay, if like Brainstorm is Ponder and Brainstorm. No, Brainstorm is banned in Legacy, isn't it? I can't remember.
I don't remember exactly. I can check that out.
But I'm like, for 2 mana, you pay 2 mana, look at the top 3 cards, put 2 into your hand. That's fucking insane.
I think the like shell of a lot of decks in that format actually looks like Wasteland, Days, Force of Will, and then Ponder, Brainstorm, Preordain, and now fucking Flow State.
Yeah. So I know. Yeah. So again, Stairs of Strixhaven seems to be very resonant with people. I'm hesitant to say that it's possibly going to be more popular than Lorwyn Eclipsed, but I would also say I would be fully 100% behind that because the set is kind of fucking stupid. Like, there's just so much going on in it.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
cards.
I got a lot of shit that I want to play, that I want to cast, that like I fully anticipate that a lot of other people are going to be putting into their decks too. Like, there's no equipment or auras in this set from what I've heard.
Yeah, they needed all of that space for instants and sorceries.
For instants and sorceries, and they were like, no, we still need more room, so they put it They put it on.
They put the instants and sorceries on creatures too.
On creatures, yeah. Like they were like, we gotta get maximum. So yeah. This set is kind of fucking nuts. I already got quite a few cards that I've already picked up. I got the Lorehold Precon. Thanks, Poppy Brandon, for sending me money. How generous. I built a deck that I will be talking about later. I was like, fuck it, if I'm gonna choose a Strixhaven Dragon, I might as well choose one and completely derail immediate future plans of building a Mardu deck, because where the fuck not? There's a lot going on here, and I fully anticipate that we're going to be seeing a lot of Strixhaven content, like YouTube videos, shorts. A lot of people are going to be putting a lot of these cards in their decks because they really went all out with it. Yeah,
I expect we're going to be hearing about the class artifacts in EDH deck building videos for quite some time. The Arc of Hunger, the Prismari loot thing, the Cauldron from Witherbloom. Yeah, these cards seem extremely playable, and much like the first Strixhaven, actually, we're gonna change the face of Commander, probably.
Yep. I guess maybe one last thing that I only saw in passing today. I guess EDH Rec put out an article where Firelord Azula has breached top 20 decks on EDH Rec.
Yes, Queen, serve.
She is now in the domain of the gods, and it only took her checks notes 5 months.
She deserves it.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Absolutely not.
Nope. Okay. I find it funny that I'm like, okay, we're doing DJ SpaceGirl, we're talking yacht for a bit. Okay, now we're gonna go to the smoking mids dimension.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it this time? I think I messed up. I actually think it's you this time.
Great question. No idea. I'm gonna pull the lever.
You're still here.
Well, pull the lever.
No, you're still here.
All right. Do you want to go like check the door? Is somebody in there?
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Lenny! Lenny!
Oh, bro, he got our ass again. He's in there with a guest. All right. Well, I guess we're in for another long one. Buckle up, gamers.
He can't keep getting away with it, but he will, because he's Lenny fucking Wooly. Let's go check in with Lenny and our guest for this week's episode of Smoking Mids.
So, we are back to Smoking Mids Dimension. I am allowed to have another guest. We have the illustrious Charlotte Sable here. Charlotte, why don't you tell the folks who you are, what you do, and where we can find you?
All right. Hi, I'm Charlotte Sable. I am, I guess, best way to put it is an alumnus of the Commander Format Panel and Commander Advisory Group. Longtime Magic Judge, ran the Magic Judge Tumblr for years and years, and yeah, all sorts of other stuff. You can find me on Blue Sky at jackalite.bsky.social. I also have another project, but I'll talk about that at the end because it's not actually happening yet. So, yeah.
All right, I'm like really excited to hear about what you got in the works. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so
All right.
you suggested a set. So I am kind of over the moon about this one. You suggested alliances, so we're going to dive deep into the mid-alliances, as it were.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I want to ask, like, what is special to you about this set?
Well, I mean, from a nostalgia sense, Alliances was, I think it was one of the first new sets to come out when I started playing Magic way back in the day. Like, I'd been playing a bit. I started, like, when Revised was the newest set, and so, like, Ice Age and Homelands and all of that had come out, right? Fallen Empires, whatever. But Alliances was the first set that I guess came out when I was what I considered more invested, to the point that I literally was actually collecting it. I still have my original Alliances set in an old Ultra Pro Collector's album, complete with the checklist paper from the Duelist, penciled and penned in, randomly ripped in half to split in page sleeves. It's amazing. Like, most of the cards aren't even sleeved just because I don't want to take them out of the sheets. But yeah, so I mean that's the set has deep personal meaning, and it's just a really cool set. Like, it does the multiple art thing that Fallen Empires did, but like with only like 2 versions of like the arts that have multiples, and it's just a really neat set. I feel like aesthetically it's really cohesive and clean, and it does some cool things mechanically. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I'm kind of with you. I've been going through this stuff, and there is kind of like an artistic cohesion, which is kind of strange because they didn't really lock in on that for like at that time. They weren't really trying to do that. until
No,
like much
but
later.
but they hit it. They hit it well.
Yeah. I know for me, this set came out when I was I mean, I kind of started in like that Fallen Empires revised kind of time.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
but for some reason, I just did not have a lot of people to play Magic with in middle school. So I started in 6th grade, transitioned to middle school, and just kind of didn't touch Magic or look into it for like 2 years. And then so I had to go back and look at these cards. So a lot of my experience with or with alliances was going to the Wizards website and pulling up those .txt files that they had of
Oh
all of the
yeah.
cards and reading through them.
Hmm.
And this set has so much heat for something that's so old and so weird.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
obviously the set has some like powerful bangers. I mean, Force of Will and Lake of the Dead and Pyrokinesis. All that
oh yeah,
hot stuff. But that's too hot.
yeah. That's not what we're about.
Gorilla
right
Shaman.
now.
No. That's too hot for us here.
Oh yeah, I gotta take that off my list.
What, Gorilla
uh,
Shaman?
yeah, I put that on there. I was like, oh yeah, that is not.
That card is not mid, Lenny.
Hey, listen, I get it wrong pretty often.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you want to know what Gorilla Shaman is, the listeners out there, go look it up. It rips. It's really good.
Yeah.
Why don't
When a card has the nickname Mox Monkey, it probably isn't mid.
yeah. Why don't you hit us with one of the selections you brought?
All right. Well, one of the interesting sort of sub themes of Alliances is it deals with like exiling cards from your library, either as an additional cost for things or just as a side effect. Like people are probably familiar with like diminishing returns, which is in like the most usual sort of Dan build as the like reshuffler of choice, and that just exiles the top 10 cards of the library. But that card isn't very mid. My card that plays into that is Phyrexian Portal, which by the printed text costs 3 to cast. It's an artifact. Pay 3. Target opponent looks at the top 10 cards of your library and separates them into 2 face-down piles. Choose one of the piles and remove it from the game, or exile it in modern speech. And then you look at the remaining pile, put one of those cards in your hand, and shuffle the rest of those cards back into your library. And you ignore this effect if you have fewer than 10 cards in your library. Like, I don't know. It's
wild.
Really
That's
cool.
like kind of a tutor, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's 10 cards. Someone has to like choose if how they're gonna split them, and it's like, they're both face down. It's not like, fact or fiction. It's not even like the fact or fiction variants where there's like a face up, face down thing. This is just both. You basically have to go on the number of cards they put in the pile, so it kind of can be random. But it's like if they do, what if they do like 3 and 7? Like it's like, oh well, the good stuff must be in the 3 pile. Then you look at it and it's like 3 lands and everything that you wanted was in the other pile. Like it's just a weird card, right? It's like six mana to get going, but it's like really strong and it makes your opponents make some interesting choices, right?
Yeah, I gotta wonder if Quinn is playing this in the Celestial Toymaker.
Ooh.
Because I think that's the guy that one, yeah, at the beginning of each instant, they lose 2 life for each spell or ability that caused one or more player to guess or group cards or permanents into a pile this turn. So, like, isn't this kind of like a machine gun for the Celestial Toymaker if you're willing to just axe a ton of your library?
Yeah, I mean, if you just basically, it's like, look, you're just gonna have to split these 5-5 because I'm always picking the bigger pile so that more cards go back to my library, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah,
Also, I'm into this for the archenemy situation because, like, you've definitely been in those games like, oh, we need to get something. Or like, all right, we need to get something. Give me 10 cards.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good pick. I don't think I've ever spent any time with that card.
What about you? You hit me with one, Lenny.
Yeah, okay. So, I am going to talk about one of my all-time favorite Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah?
The Soul Devi Adnate.
Oh, hell yeah.
1 in a black, tap it, sack a black or artifact creature to add an amount of black mana equal to that creature's casting cost.
Yep.
Get to use my favorite, play this ability as an interrupt for you old
Yeah.
heads out there.
Yeah. All right. Are you team face paint or team one eye?
Face paint all the way.
Okay, that's fair. They're both good though.
Yeah, they're both. It's both arts are bangers. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just something about a sinister looking lady that just really I appreciate on my Magic cards.
Oh, I just noticed her eyes are blank.
Yeah.
Like no pupils, no irises, nothing. They're just white. That's cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. But that card is sweet. It's really good. Like good for sack outlets. Like yeah, you have to sack a black or artifact creature, but like it's super fun.
Yeah.
Lots of cool ways to like actually go mana positive with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like not banger in the set, or no, that's another set
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. Is the that one man, the Phyrexian Dreadnought. Like you could do that.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well,
if
you add equal to mana value, but right.
Oh, right, not mana. Yeah, so then it's
yeah. But like, so you're looking at like 2-brid stuff, or like the warp cards are pretty good. Like my brain went to the what's the 9/9 warp giant that warps for 3.
Oh, dang, I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Yeah.
The just like any of that stuff that like quickly reanimates something for cheap, but you got to get rid of it. If you're making like clones of something off a Heat Shimmer, Gurmag Angler.
Oh yeah, lots of great stuff here.
Yeah. I'm really big on using this to cash in something with a really good ETB that I paid retail for, and then just using that to pay for the reanimate spell.
Or heck, just like sack your sad robot and get your 4 mana back, right?
Right, exactly.
I think we can call sad robot mid these days, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it always was, but it just kind of fit because Commander used to be like all mid back in the day.
All right, the robot I was thinking of is Bygone Colossus, which is a 9/9 mana warp 3 robot giant. Pretty good. All right, cool.
What you got?
But I love Soldavian 8. Oh, let's just go with a nice, easy 1-drop. Let's go with Awesome Presence. So Awesome Presence is an aura, or just enchant creature as it was printed at the time. Costs 1 blue, and enchanted creature can't be blocked unless defending player pays 3 for each creature assigned to block it, right? It's basically unblockable unless you pay a bunch of mana. You want ward? This is ward for blocking, right? Like...
That's really interesting. I really do. I'm with you on this is unblockable. Nobody's paying 3. Like, unless they're going to die. Or if they are,
they're going to complain about it, right? Like...
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, a lot of people, like, for Enchantress decks or, Voltron decks, people are like, oh, well, everything's the same these days. It's like, yeah, how about you play an old banger, right? Make people read your cards.
Yeah, I'm actually putting this in my card right now.
Plus, both of the arts are absolutely sick. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it. It's just like, yep, this card is gonna, get your creature through and reduce your opponent's life total, or make them spend mana. Either way, you're ahead, right?
Yeah. Where I'm actually thinking about this, I think, is if you're putting it on a creature that, like, your opponent really, really needs to block, like one of those really awful, like, combat damage triggers or any of that stuff, you're kind of, like, taxing people's mana in a way. Like, because you could just be like, you need to block this thing, so you got to keep your 3 mana up. Yep. But I'm going to jam this in my Unagi deck, I think, because... like, it's got that ward, and so, they got to figure all that out.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
What about you?
Me? You know what? I'm going to stick in blue, because I kind of... I saw this card and I kind of became obsessed a little bit. The Viscerid Drone, another 1/2
Oh
for
yeah,
2 mana. I think I'm on a theme here.
yeah.
Sacrifice a creature. Sorry, tap and sack a creature to and a swamp to destroy target non-artifact creature, or
Can't be
tap and sack a
regenerative.
creature. Can't be. Yep, yep. Or tap and sack a creature in a snow-covered swamp to destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
kind of royal assassin-y vibes, and I'm kind of thinking like any of those like Sultai decks that like are churning the lands like left and right and like spinning
yeah,
through the creatures,
exactly.
so your Muldrothas, all that. Like this seems great there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go with another. Let's go with another easy one, like simple card, but like just very fun. Soldier of Fortune, which I feel is maybe more known than some of the other ones we're discussing, but it's a 1 mana 1/1 for a red, and it just has red tap. Target player shuffles their library. Like, yep. It's like, oh, you've put stuff on top of
their artworks.
No, it's just this mage that's like slipped on like a scroll and's fallen back into like a big mirror and dropped a bunch of bones, and like there's potions that are breaking and candles flying everywhere, and it's just like it's very dynamic like a lot of his art, but it's like visceral and just like it's just like oof. The art description, oof.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, get your altar where there's a banana peel there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yep.
All
All
right.
right. What do you got next?
I want to talk about misinformation because I know you were thinking about this one too.
Yeah. This one I don't know. This one I could see arguments for it being not mid, for it being too much of a banger, but
You know,
that might also just be because of the RKF art, right? Like
I mean, look, yeah, the art on misinformation it has like really nothing to do with misinformation, but it's pretty incredible.
yeah, it's like this soldier facing off with this, I don't know, I guess it's a Yeti?
Yeah.
Or
Wait,
this like
the Yeti's
snow
pointing somewhere.
Yeah, okay, that could be it. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, go that way. That way's safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not like fighting it. He's just like, hey, which way is this? It's like, oh yeah, it's over there, friend.
Okay, I know we should probably talk about the card, but it really, I just can envision RKF having done this, like, all right, I'm doing this really sick piece where, like, this knight guy is about to face off with this Yeti, and they're like, hey, yeah, the card is called Misinformation, and he's just like, paints the arm there, pointing in a direction. Like, yeah, we gotta fix this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 1 black for an instant, put up to 3 target cards from an opponent's graveyard on top of their library in any order.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just any 3 cards.
Yep. And they could be lands.
Yep. Yeah. One thing that I find really interesting is that this card is like counterbalanced by another card called Reinforcements in white, which is put up to 3 target creature cards from your graveyard on top of your library in any order, right? They're both 1 mana instants, but it's just like the balance is interesting. Right?
Yeah, but very. They were kind of really into that like duality of the 2 colors. I think back then more so than they are now. Now it's all like guilds and 2 color things.
Yeah,
but
that's cool. But yeah, the card is cool and can be utterly backbreaking in the right circumstances. It's right. Like, you can literally, like, you know, you ever heard someone complain about being brainstorm lock? Congratulations, you can brainstorm lock someone.
Oh yeah, or that nice vamp tutor.
Yeah, how about you get that in 3 turns?
Mm-hmm. Or nice living death. No, you're not gonna get 3 of these things.
Yeah.
All kinds of just like nasty little things you can do to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is definitely kind of more of the stuff that I've been wanting to get into, is to like have these weird like silver bullet banger cards that like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Man, honestly, yeah, putting that in my cart too. This has been really good for me personally, less so for my wallet.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's stick in black. Let's go with another one of our overlaps. Let's go with Ritual of the Machine. So this is a sorcery for 2 black. As an additional cost, sacrifice a creature, gain control of target non-black, non-artifact creature, full stop. No time limit, you just have it, it's yours. It's a, mind control effect in black that on a sorcery. And you just have to sacrifice something.
I would like to point out that it is a black card, so you don't have to sacrifice something, you get to sacrifice something.
That's true. That is true. Like, yes, there's limitations. You can't steal anything black or artifact, but like, whatever,
Yeah.
Also, just like the flavor of this card. This is like one of the cards when I think of alliances, I think of this art among a couple of others, but like this art is just so evocative, right? It's this dude on this big machine with like levers and dials and like this like thing that looks like a giant eye staring down at him, and it's like he has like weird pale blue skin, and it's just like amazing.
What I gotta say that I really love about this card, and specifically talking about the art, is it really to me invokes like sort of the sinisterness of Phyrexia. I feel like in a
Yeah.
lot of fantasy stuff, they always have like this like old ancient like we find ancient technological or highly advanced magical ruins,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of crystals and a lot of floating like stuff. And it's just like every time you got they're like uncovering Phyrexian stuff, it's just like horrible and bad news.
Yeah, and
And
it's
it
just it's machines and oil and like, inscribed text and like sacrificial altars and like, okay.
Yeah, and it really, I think, for me, kind of separated Magic from a lot of fantasy stuff that I was consuming at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Phyrexia is the big bads is really good.
Yeah, and this
All
card
right.
got me a lot in high school
Yeah.
because there was a kid in high school and he had like a ton of alliances, and so like yeah, he was always dropping this card on people, and it was just like, can you stop? I want
Yeah,
to
I mean
keep my
also
freaking
just
6/6 dragon.
or just, steal someone's commander like, "Oh, you're not
Yeah.
playing black? Well, yoink." If you're going to be if someone's going to be an asshole with their commander, like, "Yeah, no, I'll just take that now."
Yeah. All right, what do you say we do Limdul's Paladin?
Yeah. I love this guy.
Okay. So yeah, during your upkeep, 0/3 trample. God, this guy has so much text they had to make it smaller.
Yeah. Do you want me to just
during-
read the oracle text?
Yeah, no, I got this. I'm squinting as hard as I
Okay.
possibly can. During
Yeah.
your upkeep, choose and discard a card from your hand or bury him, and draw a card. If any creatures are assigned to block him, he gets +6/+3 until end of turn. And then when he attacks and is not blocked, he deals no damage to defending player this turn, and that player loses 4 life. And I'll skip the rest of that because we understand life loss now.
Yeah. Yeah, this card is great. It has amazing Chris Rush art, like with this badass black and gold armor. This card is just baller, right? Like, also, because it's black, you don't have to, you either get to discard a card or you get to sacrifice it and draw a card, right? I've played this in Alesha at various times, and this is such a good card for Alesha. It's basically like, yeah, bring it back. You have to either block it as a 6/6 trample or just lose 4 life. And then on my next turn, I get to sacrifice it and draw a card, or I get to discard something else to my bin and keep it around, sort of thing, right? Like, this card is just utter gas.
The first time we ever played a game together, you used this in Alesha, and I lost my mind because that is so peak for this commander.
Yeah, I probably should put that back in because it's just such a good card for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like you don't see this, like,
right, like, and like, okay, it's 0/3, but like when it's attacking, it's a 6/6, right? Like, okay, yes, it can die to lightning bolt. Oh no, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just bring it back again. Yeah, that card.
Exactly.
It's so good. And this is definitely a thing where the art very much makes the card, right? You put more generic art on this, and it's like, This art is just like, just like, you see this, I want to know where he got that armor, what the meaning of it is, why is he Limdul's Paladin, right? Like, who is this guy that's serving a necromancer, right? Like, where's his helmet? I guess he only puts it on when he's blocked.
Yeah, I think that's the helmet. That's the +6/+3 is the helmet.
Well, the +3 is the helmet, and the +6 is, I don't know. It's like, god damn it, I'm gonna have to take out my sword.
No, he's cashing in all the aura farming that he's doing in this art.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's see if we're only doing a couple more each. Well, we obviously, I'm gonna hit our last overlap and then do another one because we have one more overlap that we also don't want to ignore. Let's talk about inheritance. Yeah. Inheritance. So inheritance is, where is it? No. Inheritance is a 1 mana enchantment for a white, and it has basically 3 mana, draw a card, use this ability only when a creature dies, and only once for each creature. So basically, whenever a creature dies, you can pay 3 if you do draw a card, right? Any creature, not just yours, not once a turn. Yes, it's 3 mana. It's not, the cheapest, but it's a 1 mana enchantment. You're getting your discount on the drop, right? Like, and it's in white, right? You're not, yes, if you're playing black, you can get this effect much more, cheaply, sort of thing. But like, those are usually limited once a turn, right? And this is just a cool effect. This is anyone's creatures as well, right? It's not just yours. It's not just whatever. It's just like, oh, a creature died. I have some mana. Sure, I'll draw a card for that. Why not? Right?
Dussel
what do you like
not,
about it?
Listen, it's also, it's not limited. So like, when I think of the black cards, they're usually like whenever a creature you control, or you're paying like 6 mana on the Harvester of Souls, or it's like a creature an opponent controls, or it's a non-token creature.
Exactly.
And this sees everything, and you can just like draw a couple cards here and there when you got some spare mana.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like Mind's Eye, but for creatures, except it doesn't cost 5 mana on the cast, right? Like,
yeah. That's what I think it really gets me for this card, is that it's just 1 mana, and just you don't have to take your turn off for it or anything else.
No.
I do think, you do sort of need a lot of mana, but honestly, like, commander decks nowadays, you don't need to be drawing like a stupid amount of cards, really. Like, you could just kind of put enough bangers in your deck where drawing a few extra cards will get you over the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? And like,
yeah,
I feel like it's much better to have the ability to get cards than to necessarily like just have overwhelming volumes of cards, right? Like, I've seen a lot of times where it's like, oh, someone gets set up with like, welcoming vampire and, Tokasia's welcome and yada yada yada, right? A bunch of these similar effects that stack, and they end up like drawing a mitt full of cards and having to discard, and then later in the game it's like, well, whatever. If you'd had the ability to like cash it in, right? Like, I've seen people that like, it would have been much better if those had been clues or something, right? Like, that you could like get later. Let's see. Yeah.
All right.
No, it's just a cool card. But yeah, so
I'll do my
for my actual
okay. Yeah, let's do your actual card.
For my this one's pretty simple, right? So this is a card that's just weird because more of its color identity, but it's also just a very techie sort of card, Veteran's Voice. So this is a 1 red aura with enchant creature. And enchant creature you control, and you can pay 0 and tap the enchanted creature to give any other target creature +2/+1 until end of turn, and obviously activated only if your creature is untapped. And only, I think there's some weird rider, let me look it up. But basically, it gives it a tap. Like, these days they'd say, enchanted creature has tap, right? But like, there's some weird wording on it. It's like, tap enchanted creature. Activate only if enchanted creature is untapped. Right. I don't understand why it needs that text, but there's probably some reason. But anyway, I don't know. It's neat. It's in red, which is a color you wouldn't expect that in, right?
Yeah.
It's like can happen at instant speed. There's also like plenty of commanders these days that just want to be tapped, right? Like, like, put this on King Makar, put this on Calamax, put this on, what's the Duskmorn beastie that wants to be tapped?
Oh, Kona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Also, it has art. It has these lovely pieces of art by Andy Rusu that remind me of like old school like fencing manuals. Right?
Yeah, I totally see that. Yeah, that's very much like those. This is an interesting one, although feel like this is like a prototype for VV Orniteer doing VV's thing the way he does it, where he doesn't just tap,
Yeah.
and that's that's whatever. It is kind of weird for such a
Yeah.
modern card. They took such an old way of doing things, but
Yeah.
no, I'm into this. I'm a big threat of activation kind of guy.
Yeah.
All right, let me drop my last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one because I have a particular question about this one as well.
Yeah.
So Surge of Strength. Red, green, instant. Choose and discard a red or green card from your hand. Target creature gets trample and plus X+O, where X is the mana value of that. It'll equal that creature. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
just confused myself here.
Yeah. It gives a bonus equal to the mana value of the creature you're targeting. It has nothing. Doesn't look at the card you discarded.
Okay.
Other than yeah.
That's super weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, this card, I love. Like, we play a lot of those. Like, if you have like a Galta or any number of those, like, I've cheated this out
Yeah.
somehow. Like any
Exactly.
kind of Jund reanimator business, this is great because you get to discard a card
Yeah.
and then punch somebody for a bunch.
Mhm.
And then for the Ruth Thompson art, is this the same guy that's on the card Justice? I think they might be the same guy.
Yeah, it is Justice. That's also Ruth Thompson art. It's a similar looking guy. The marking is different. Oh no, it is the same guy. No, it literally is the same guy. It has the same mark over his eye. Huh.
Yeah. Who is that guy?
Hiroshi,
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I want to do my deep dive, but I'm like, yo, like this guy looks pretty rad.
Yeah, this is very Image Comics, but fantasy.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about this one, the Surge of Strength?
I like it. It's cool. I also like, in my head, I thought it had something to do with the mana value of the card you discard, but then it's basically just. But no, it's like the creature, so it's fine. You can basically discard anything. This is fun for like madness decks or like, I mean,
Yeah.
it probably does some stuff with. God, wait, who was it? Was it? Yeah, I mean, this would work well with like Eddie Brock / Venom. That's a cool interaction, right?
Oh yeah.
That's what came to mind. Yeah, like I don't know, it's a neat card. It does something that it's instant speed trample, which is fun. I mean, it's kind of like a one shot Cassie Wolfrun activation, which is cool, right? And like, I don't know, discarding cards is usually good.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a neat card. Like all of the multicolor cards, like every single one of the multicolored cards in this set are bangers. Like top all 10 of them, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But let's see, where do I want to finish us off? Sorry, my cat has decided he needs attention.
Oh.
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about people like rats, right? Rats are cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
their popular commander type.
Yeah.
Deck type.
Let's talk about diseased vermin.
All right. Why don't you read that for the class?
Sure. So printed, it's a 1/1 summon rats for 2 and a black. It says during your upkeep, diseased vermin deals 1 damage to a single target opponent. It is previously damaged for each infection counter on diseased vermin, and if diseased vermin damages a player in combat, put an infection counter on it. So to put that in modern language, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put an infection counter on it. Beginning of your upkeep, it deals X damage to target opponent previously dealt damage by it, where X is the number of infection counters on it. Although, interestingly, no, it's literally as printed, but like it's interesting because the rat just has to have damaged the opponent. But yeah, this is fun for like some sort of proliferate deck or just like, yep. Just got to get it through once, right? And there's plenty of ways to sneak one power things through. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I like the
yeah, I don't know.
inevitability. Well,
Yeah,
what I
exactly.
think is kind of cool about this one is you could just kind of turn it around with like if you've got a deck that gives something lifelink, and then so this guy is
Yeah.
like also giving
Oh
me a
yeah,
bunch of
exactly.
lifelink and
Yeah.
just
Uh, yeah. Also, it's upkeep, so it probably goes well in like Obeka's either
yeah.
version, right? Like,
Oh yes, that's really nice. I love that. Uh,
you know,
yeah, they actually come to think of it, the infect deck. If you're slapping if you're gonna give this thing infect and you're proliferating already, I mean,
oh yeah, exactly. It's just like,
yeah,
gross,
just like
gross.
tack it on. I know, I'm a
Luckily,
monster.
luckily, it cannot wear Phyresis. Well, otherwise it dies. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I don't know.
Nah,
I
I love
guess
that. That's really
are we
cool.
good? Are we good to end with rats? Or
You know what? I think I mean maybe it's too soon, but like considering the Black Plague ended a lot of things, we can end that
yeah,
with that.
yeah,
Cole, cut that line. That's terrible.
yeah.
I won't.
All right, cool.
Although I gotta say, the art on Diseased Vermin is giving me like it feels very like almost like a Broadway musical sort of situation where
Yeah,
it's one of those ones where it's like in London and London sucks. Like,
yeah.
and this guy's like really belting out a solo while these rats are just tearing him apart.
Yeah, the musical is called like Rats with like 2 exclamation marks.
Right, yeah. It's very Dickensian.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, just looking at it, it does look very stagey, right? Like it looks like that one rat's in his belt and the other ones are like attached to his shirt. There's this weird ass growth on his wrist. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's also just very 2D looking, but like, yeah, this, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very cool. Anyway, yeah. So I think that's it. I know I had more stuff on my list, but we will be here all day.
Same. Yeah.
Uh,
And, we were supposed to be mid, not smoking every half decent card.
that's the next thing is we go to the smoke the entire set dimension.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're gonna wind it down. I am required to drop some wisdom on the people, so I will do so.
Yeah. What do you got
So
for us today?
okay, I'm gonna talk about the most basic thing of all that I think people need to think more about, and that's breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like consciously, actively breathing. In times of stress, just taking time to focus on only your breath, take deep breaths in, like maybe count to 5. That's one that I'm like kind of fond of. Just take few 5 count breaths to
Mm-hmm.
kind of relax and calm yourself when you're stressed out, when you need a moment, and just focus on that. It's the most elemental part. One of the most elemental parts of your existence is, breathing. Uh, but also, people forget constantly when they are exerting themselves and moving to breathe. Like it's such a human reflex to just like hold your breath when you're doing that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why you're getting super tired super fast when you exercise. So make sure you're focusing on breathing with your movements. And
Mm-hmm.
I promise you your stamina will be a lot better.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
good. Breathing good. Yes. Also,
absolutely.
breathing helps you relax because when you're not breathing, your like diaphragm is frozen, and then your shoulders seize up, and it's all not great.
Yeah. Definitely don't not breathe for 4 minutes either. That's really bad for you.
Yeah.
Charlotte, thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure. Loved
Yeah.
going through these old sets with you.
Yeah.
I It's so cool that you have the entire set in a binder. I can like picture. Well, you sent me a picture, but I'm also picturing it in
Yeah.
my mind's eye. It really
Yeah.
took me back to my like childhood of having those
Yeah.
binders and looking through my friends' binders of stuff. So
Yeah.
thank you for that
Oh
gift.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Why don't you just real quick tell the folks what you're up to, where they can find you, and
Yeah.
we'll close it out.
All right, so in general, you can find me on Blue Sky at jackalite.bsky.social, which is JAQALYTE. You can also find me on Discord under that name on the Heroes Blade Vibe Check channel and other fine Discords. I have a podcast in the planning. So if I finally have a new project in the planning. It's been a while, but I finally figured out what I want to do. I'm going to be doing a hopefully at least every other week podcast where I talk to someone about a deck that they've built that they like, they're enthusiastic about, and then we go over some of the rules and interactions in the deck. And the podcast is called Your Deck Rules. So fingers crossed we'll have our first episodes out in May, but don't hold me to that. But definitely before absolute deadline I'm holding myself to is before MagicCon Amsterdam in July. So yeah.
Nice. That's
and
exciting.
that also has a Blue Sky at yourdeckrules.bsky.social. Yeah. I'm also looking for people who would like to come on or have tech advice or whatever. But yeah, I am looking forward to getting that done. And by talking about it here, it pushes me to actually get it done. But
That's
yeah,
right.
thanks
It's
for
out in the
having
universe
me.
now. Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Hanging out with you is always more than mid.
Oh, I guess secret podcast for Editor Cole. I've been playing Pokemon Showdown. I got a team with the Charizard on it. I'm playing Azumarill and Gengar as my main three. There's 3 other Pokemon on the team that I never seem to choose. And we're still in the Pokeball level 3, I think, in the ranked battles. So we're not facing particularly difficult enemies or meta teams, but the picks that we have made have been pretty successful, and we're doing pretty alright at battling. Might get into more high-level competitive Pokemon gameplay or whatever. I need to be able to play my baby Chandelure and Hatterene, and I want to play Trick Room. Alright, that's it. Secret podcast out.
Well, that was Charlotte in the Smoking Mids dimension.
Yeah,
Thanks
fucking banger episode. Charlotte and Lenny, thanks so much for putting that together.
We've basically, at this point, we do have people who are like, oh, can I come on? And then Lenny's like, oh, wait, I can just do this now. And it's like, so yeah, future guests will be coming up, but I also think that actually you are supposed to be going in next time.
Okay.
So,
oh, and to answer their question, I am not playing Phyrexian Portal in the Celestial Toymaker, but I absolutely should be. That is just 3 mana for a pile game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's go to brews off the shelf.
Yeah. This is the part where I put you on blast because you put a
Quinn,
fucking...
hold on. Before you put me on blast, I am calling you out. You put 4 decks on this list.
I am only going to spend any real amount of time on 3 of them. One of them we are just going to very briefly touch on.
Okay. Anyway, what do you got to say to me, huh? What do you got to say?
Fine, boom his ass. This dude put a fucking mythic rare Elder Dragon in the command zone, knowing they're all fucking busted.
This is true. Also to quote Light, I didn't deserve to win that game. Let me tell you why. I looked in the same breath that I said, wow, those Elder Dragons are so busted, miss me with that shit, as I snuck an extended
You were fucking
alt
tucking
art
a Silverquill into your pocket
Disputant.
while you were distracting us with the other hand.
Yeah, you're like, haha, what could possibly, haha, you foolish fool. Yeah, no, as it turns out, even I know, you and I both know, that all those dragons are pretty fucking busted, and we could do the whole sliding scale of, all right, we'll do worst worst to best on a scale of 1 through 5 of how fucked up they are relative to each other. But then you're like, oh wait, still in the greater scheme of the Commander landscape. Oh shit, these guys are still pretty fuck busted.
Yeah.
So Silverquill the Disputant was the one that I was like, I am coming at this from several different angles. One is, despite being Johnny Mardu and going to Strixhaven to be a double major in Lorehold and Silverquill, I still don't look at Black and White very fondly as a color pair by itself. So part of me was like, I just got to give this a go and see what happens. And also, Brandon gave me some money, so it was easy to make a freaking pre-sale purchase on a card that probably still won't be as expensive as what I bought it for, but I now have less, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm less hesitant to go grab it. Second of all, I looked at the cycle of the 5 and I'm like, okay, so Prismari was definitely a no. Quandrix was also definitely a no. And Witherbloom was also definitely a no for a multitude of reasons for those 3 dragons, of which Red does not save Prismari from the storm hell that would be subjected on people. We don't need that. But then I'm like, okay, Lorehold and Silverquill. Lorehold is still pretty fucked up, but I am at a quote-unquote critical mass of Boros spell, like creatures and spells and decks at this time. And I'm like, I also can't even think of a place that I could put a copy of Lorehold in. And then I looked over at Silverquill and said, I don't know, it's only Casualty 1. What's the worst that could possibly go wrong?
As it turns out, free spells, good, more at 11.
They're so good. By the way, Quinn, to answer your question from the other night over on MTG Lexicon, the die bar of EDH, I am running 33 instances sorceries if my math was correct, which it is. So hey, Silverquill the Disputant. We're talking about a 4-mana 4/4 Flying Vigilance Elder Dragon that says each instant sorcery spell you cast as Casualty 1. Does everyone remember New Capenna, where Casualty was the Gracious Mean Girls family mechanic? Well, how about we splash white in that and see what fucking goes wrong?
Yeah, let's just give the fucking color of token generation Casualty 1.
Yeah. Pretty bad. I was like, oh wow, I'm returning home, where I grabbed the Lorehold pre-con. It was pre-release weekend, or it was pre-release on the Friday, and it was like, I got enough time. No, it was Saturday. I take it back. I was like, okay, I have enough time to go swing by the store, grab some stuff, go back home. Hey, I might be able to make game 1 or no. If not, go start without me. Starts without me. Okay, I'll come in for game 2. Do I have enough time to get home, make a deck from scratch, sleeve the deck, and also sleeve the Lorehold precon? Yep, no problem.
Fucking madman.
I proceed to throw approximately 250 to 300 cards onto my desk, some of which were already on the desk.
This man's brewing style would kill some of you out there, and
Light straight up was just like, I don't fucking get how you do this. I get the mana base. I started off at 80. I started off at 38 lands. And Silverquill, and I had 61 slots, and then later, when I was making revisions after the fact, I cut a land for whatever, because the curve of this deck is so fucking low. Like, I think it caps off at 6, and then there's a quote-unquote 8-mana spell that's actually a 2-mana spell. All right, so get some lands. Silverquill in its own unique sleeve. Cut down to 62 cards, because, yeah, sure, why the fuck not? We got Reanimator effects, we got Edicts and / Soul Shatter adjacent spells, because what's better than 1 Soul Shatter? 2 Soul Shatters, because fuck you.
That's fucking ruinous, bro. No. Oh, do you have Sotswell?
Was on the chopping block, did not put it in the deck.
You gotta get that in the deck, bro. That's graveyard hate.
Oh, I know, it's great for this deck, for sure. Then put in Papalima Totolimo, because
this fucking guy.
This dude is so fucking good in this deck, and even though that I'm like, sometimes he's like the only other creature on the board, and I really want to cast this other spell, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Papalimo Totolimo. I have to do this.
It's funny because
Purging
it's lore
Storm,
accurate that he sacrifices himself for the greater good.
and he also happens to be a soul shatter effect on a body too. So like, Purging Stormbrood being a dragon and also a spell attached to a body, and also anti Indominus Lux tech, hilariously enough, as long as light doesn't give her hexproof. Yeah, seems pretty good. Show up for game 2 on MTG Lexicon. The first thing I do, or one of the first sequence of things I do, I get Serrated Scorpion out. Then I cast Silverquill, and then I cast Risky Shortcut. Hey,
this shit was so sick, actually.
So, sack Serrated Scorpion for the casualty 1, cast Risky Shortcut, remember to read the card, and remember that I actually also lose 2 life, because it reads 2 and a black, draw 2 cards, each player loses 2 life. So I would net lose 4, draw 4, and my opponents lose 6. And then I also gain 2. So I was like, actually, pretty sick. Feels pretty good. I died to a infamous Cruel Claw hitting someone in the face and then casting World Fire.
No, it was you. You had one creature, and so you could not block Cruel Claw.
Right. Anyway, yeah, feels bad. Game 3, I left this blank because that game went for, if I remember correctly, way too goddamn long, but it allowed me to cast Exsanguinate and Debt to the Deathless and a few other spells that I was like, wow, this feels really good to copy.
Yeah, there were like 5 board wipes, and at the end I'm just like, I have 2 cards in hand, and one of them is a board wipe and one of them doesn't do anything, so land pass.
Yep. I got to revise a few things since that game. I got to play with Light and Medusa last night.
Nice.
It felt pretty good. I've overall, like, I added a bunch of spells where I'm like, okay, obviously, 1, I got a fucking busted mythic in the command zone.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really want to just play certain cards to, like, what's the word I'm thinking of here? 1, they found a home. 2, it allows me to play some certain spells that I'm like, this feels kind of mid, but what if I cast 2 of them? Then it's not so mid. 3,
yeah.
I get to do some really funky, weird shit now in ways that, like, I never really thought I could do, or, like, I don't know. Like, okay, let me go through this here, right? So, I don't know how double Ink Shield works, but it's also Ink Shield, so maybe we'll skip Ink Shield for a second here. I've been trying to find various ways to get, like, mad 2-for-1s off of spells if you get to copy it.
Mm-hmm.
The creature count was initially, I think, started at a total with Silverquill at 17, and I think now I got it to 21 because I'm like, I need to be a little more flexible with stuff. Put in Reassembling Skeleton to go along with, like, Tenacious Underdog to get some consistent recursive stuff there. But getting 2-for-1 Coiling Rebirths or 2-for-1 Gix's Command. Recently found my copy of Graceful Restoration, which also probably reads super fucking well when you choose, like, either mode. Desperate Plea can kill something and also return something on top of, like, a lot of the spells that I've chosen for some reason was like, you also have to sacrifice something, and if you want to copy it, you have to sacrifice something else. But it also allows you to just constantly, like, start recycling creatures in and out of the zone while also killing stuff. Copying stuff like Treacherous Greed or Duty Beyond Death in, like, a pivotal moment.
That shit was sick.
Treacherous Greed, just fucking goddamn it. And the other thing too I wanted to do was I wanted to avoid doing, like, a pure aristocrat strategy of like, kill my things, drain your life. Now we can change it up a bit. Let's go with Papa Lima Totolimo kind of being like I cast spells and get the payoff, so I can kind of get a
he's
gutter
a black
snipe.
mage.
Like, he's a black mage. Just gutter snipe adjacent effect. I didn't put more black mage generating token spells because I'm like,
There actually aren't that many, so I understand leaving that out.
And one of them is a targeted edict, and it makes the token. And my immediate thought was,
you can hit two players with that.
I'm just going to sack the token at some point. Like, I might accidentally reach the point where I'm going to sack the token instead of actually keeping it out. Which is why, I was like, I'll focus more on, Jadar, Ghoul Caller of Nephalia, the reassembling skeleton thing. Blood gas and those other stuff. Black Sun's Twilight is, again, a targeted removal spell. Like, I've entered the domain of a control spell again. Oh, no. But then I also get to return a creature spell. So I can sack something, make 2 copies of a 6 mana value, at least, Black Sun's Twilight, which may allow me to kill, indestructible creatures, depending on the negative value. That also allows me to reanimate 2 things. So I was like, that feels and sounds fucking nuts. So as part of the New Year's resolution thing, I don't have a game changer in here yet, but I do have a tutor. Dark Petition. This has always been the card that's been on the brain for so long.
This is a great Dark Petition deck. Holy shit.
Yeah, so Dark Petition, 3 into double black, sorcery, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Spell Mastery, the easiest spell mastery condition to ever meet. If there are 2 or more instant sorcery cards in your graveyard, add triple black to your mana pool. So I get to tutor for 2 cards. I get to add 6 black to my mana pool. Yeah, seems pretty fucking good. Is this the most inspired deck? No. I immediately the only thing holding me back from putting Torment of Hailfire in here is the job that Debt to the Deathless and Exsanguinate and any other combination of these spells are already going to be doing to people.
I'm fucking rolling my eyes if you make me look at a Torment of Hailfire.
I am not going to put Torment of Hailfire in this deck. But yeah. Initial changes that I've made in the last few days feels pretty good. I'm kind of a little excited to see what this deck can do over time. Am I eventually going to be found the fuck out and get blown out of the water? Yeah, that's probably also likely going to be happening.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know.
Somebody's going to hit you with the Elish Norn and you won't be able to fucking hold your tokens and then you're just boned.
Yeah, so I got... I put in an order for a couple things for this deck because I was like, they're cheap and I can try it.
A Black Mage's Rod?
I do not have a spare one, but it could be spared.
I think it makes sense in this deck.
Because
it gives you the token that you can feed to Casualty, and then you can just put the rod on Shadrix or whatever, or somebody in the 99 who has lifelink.
Shit, you're so right. God damn it.
And then that'll make Shadrix a wizard, actually. So if you do have things that care about that, then Shadrix counts.
And then I was thinking, I'm like, I got a non-zero amount of party things, and I was like, yeah, but I don't know.
Oh, dude, you could be casting Split Up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could be casting Split for sure. There's a lot of things you could do with this deck, and there's a lot of things that I want to do with this deck. And this is sort of the compromise that I got right now. The only thing that I could possibly say that I want to add a little bit more of here and there is more scam cards, because I can sack a creature and copy. I'll use Vincent's Limit Break as the current only example of hard bring that creature back to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So I could sack a thing to make 2 copies of Vincent's Limit Break on maybe, let's say, Silverquill and God knows what the fuck else. And then I cast another spell that has a sacrifice this creature as an additional cost, casualty 1, sacrifice the other scammed creature to do fucking batshit bananas nonsense stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of keep whatever creatures I got cycling. So on the one hand, Am I going to run through this concept pretty quickly and get bored with it? Not unlikely with me. I immediately think of the conversations that I was having with Kristen about Orzov's issue of recycling the same stuff but being stagnant because nothing is fucking happening.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I kill things, but then my opponents are still like at like whatever life totals, right? And I'm like, okay, Silverquill punches people in the face, so I can leverage that. Estinian Varlano grows bigger and also cares about dragons.
Okay,
or
I
himself
like to see
punching
that.
people in
Yeah,
the face.
you can punch people with him.
Papalimo Totolimo feels like a no fucking brain hurt.
Yeah, that's
to,
the
like,
burn
mention
damage
this guy.
with the black mage technology. I see it.
Rattleback Apothecary of committing crimes, which I'm doing way too damn often in this deck, of giving something menace or lifelink. So I'm, on the one hand, yes, I'm stabilizing myself and you're hissing and spitting at me for the lifelink part, but I'm thinking about the menace part that allows me to put like Primal Odin and a Shay Cormac or a Silverquill in a much more harder position to be blocked, so I can punch people in the face harder,
Yeah,
or just
you can
kill
suit
them.
them boys up with Glamdring, the foe hammer, and just fucking beat Redacted. Get him.
Yes. So beat some friends. Yes. Yeah. So there's some things in here where it's like, it's a mix of Aikido. It's a mix of, I'm the biggest piece of shit because I'm making you sack your stuff with like Will of the Abzan or whatever. But then I also get to like cast and copy decode transmissions and risky shortcut to start draining people life. Perhaps maybe at some point a little disproportionately, while gaining like kind of sick card advantage. And then eventually like finding my debt to the debtless or exsanguinate to like finish the game, or find ways to like make Silverquill and those other bodies like super duper huge and just punch you in the face. So I have a goal. The vision is real. I believe in myself.
I think we all have to believe in you after the last game you played with the deck. You've shown us that the concept works.
So fingers crossed, again, that I'm not bored to death with it in the near future and we can go from there.
Also, get you a Bastion of Remembrance. It'll feel so good for you and very annoying for everybody else.
But I wanted to avoid the... I mean, okay, I get it. You're right. I just also
It
tried to avoid...
just makes sense with the game plan. You're leaving money on the table. I understand.
Fine. I will look into that and regrettably put in a card like that, and we can...
Also, it makes the token that you can sacrifice to casualty.
Okay, Quinn, how about I put in an identity crisis and you get back to me on what you think of that?
Let me just read this card.
I don't think you want to.
Exile all cards from target player's hand and graveyard. Wow, that's rude. Holy shit.
I gotta send you...
What the fuck?
I gotta send you... Yeah, no, I gotta foil that bad boy in my collection here.
You
Quinn.
have a foil? Why?
Yeah, I was the foil man like years ago, so I was like, oh,
so that was on purpose.
Yeah, once upon a time it was on purpose. I don't think I've actually ever cast this card in like the decade that I've owned the foil.
Chat, who is this guy?
No, the secrets that I hold, I contain multitudes. I'm gonna send you the link to a thread that happened earlier on Blue Sky. You can get started on a deck while I send you something and you give me the what in tarnation boy, and then we'll go from there.
All right. What do we have here? Okay, we're not actually going to spend any real amount of time here. I just need everybody to know that the fucking 2-mana legendary page, loose leaf, you can do the thing where you play page on 2 and then Sisay's ring on 3 and then just like make everybody answer your problems every turn after that. So I put that deck list together, spent like 15 minutes on it because you don't need to put a whole lot of effort into that deck build. The construction just looks like fucking OTAG Mana Rock, MV:4, sort EDH rec, OTAG card advantage, sort EDH rec, T creature, mana value greater than 5, sort EDH rec. And then in the just cause I can section, I think I put like Cauldron Complete and Darksteel Monolith and just like stuff that you want to cast and not really.
This is the most smooth-brained fucking deck you could ever fucking put together.
Yeah, it's
congratulations.
Just
You've solved the riddle, Quinn.
Yeah, the thing about Sisay's ring Typal is it's a form of smut. So,
thank you, the Benoit, for that one.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation the other day, and then here we are, as Sisay's ring Typal is a form of smut, for Empress Quinn specifically.
Yeah, so here's this deck and just fucking pornographic amounts of ramp for you, the anti-causal vestiges, the Juladok Void Gorger, the Sire of Seven Deaths, the Kozilek the Broken Reality, Bahamut, fucking Blightsteel and Darksteel. I'm on Rise of the Eldrazi, because, like, why not? Where else are you going to play that?
Yeah.
And then gameplay experiences, I'm just going to post a link to this post on B-Sky that I made where I am like showing you a board state of a...
I am... I'll put this on the YouTube version, but hold on. This was from...
the
Saturday.
Yes, the Saturday
We
stream.
are enhanced. Oh, was this from game 1?
Yes, that's where I played
Quinn,
the Page ramp deck.
What?
And
What the fuck? What
Smoke
the
too
holy
tough.
shit?
Swag more different than anyone. They killed me.
They killed you with fucking hammers, as they should.
They had to. I was gonna fucking destroy them. I had overwhelming value. You see the number of cards in my hand because the if you hit the highlight function in the deck list and look at the OTAG card advantage, it'll highlight like 35 fucking things because we wanted to make sure that we drew cards in colorless. And hey, you can do that now. It's real easy.
Jesus Christ. Check that link I sent you.
All right, let's take a look here. Oh dear. Oh no. Here's
Same
your
brain,
foil
same
identity
brain.
crisis and fucking other people in the chat encouraging you with their identity crisis that they want to be rude to their friends. Well, I mean, I guess if you hit 2 players with that, then there's 2 people that
It's
are
not the
removed from
most.
the game.
It's not the most absolutely ruinous, but the game might as well be over anyway.
It is pretty bad to be completely hellbent, although it's 2026 and card advantage is extremely fucking good, and you probably have some in the command zone.
So I suddenly remember what I bought that card with. I'm pretty sure I bought that foil identity crisis with a Necromancer's Covenant, because I'm pretty sure I was just grabbing random like Shards of Alara block foils. And the Necromancer's Covenant is like, remove all creature cards from target player's graveyard from the game that put a 2/2 black zombie creature token into play. For each card removed this way, and zombies you control have lifelink.
I think I've seen this in a commander deck before, and it was absolutely ruinous, but it's also a 6-mana enchantment, so they had to fucking work their ass off to get that shit out.
So yeah. We are up to no good. And you are up to no good with this colorless nonsense deck.
Yeah, absolutely no good. Do that to your friends, gamers. It's kind of fun. Make them answer that. Anyway, that out of the way. Let's talk about an actual deck that we care about, that we put some fucking thought into.
Yeah. All right. What do you got going on here?
Hey, so the Mystical Archive has a lot of very pretty cards in it, and I thought, what if I put a lot of Mystical Archive cards in the same spot? These are all card advantage and removal spells, though, and of course I want to play the Grixis ones because of who I am as a gamer. So I guess this is, if we put it together, it's going to be a control deck. Mystical Archive Control. We'll ship it. And then, so yeah, we brewed the deck and then played that. And hey, gamers, it actually fucking plays Magic the Gathering, so that's cool. Taking a look at the construction on this thing, though, the main thing up top that we want to look at is our demonstrations of killing intent. Because part of playing a control deck IMO that you can play more than once is being able to point to the thing that's like, no, I'm trying to fucking kill you. We're not just here like making you miserable for no reason. And I have a couple of these things because it's extremely important to me to be able to do that. So first off, I wanted to hit that with the Wizard Pingers plus Mizzix's Mastery as a sort of like set up, and then huge explosion, and then we fucking kill you with that. In this section, I've got a Black Mage's Rod, I have a Vile Smasher the Fierce, there's Vivi, Black Waltz Kuja, and Prophonics. We also have a Stensian Sanguinist in here, who's not like exactly the same thing, but she does cast Exsanguinate, which is like basically wizard burn damage if you squint.
Yeah. I mean, that will be killing people or put them so disproportionately behind.
Yeah, it's just that the efforts that you have to go to prepare her in this deck is not particularly feasible. So I think we're going to cut that and maybe replace it with the Destined Black Mage, who is a more straightforward wizard pinger and fits the rest of my Final Fantasy Evil Wizards thing. We also have the go wide combat win condition in the form of Abhorrent Oculus and Rawl Crackling Wit. He prints out the otter tokens with prowess on his +1 ability and gets loyalty whenever you cast non-creature spells, which makes him just like a natural fit. He's got a mode that gives the instants and sorceries you cast Storm, but we're never going to get there. The Oculus, on the other hand, is much more likely for us to get to. We can hardcast that guy by removing our removal spells from the graveyard, and then the bodies that it prints out either shapes our graveyard for the Mizzix's Mastery or sculpts the battlefield so that I'm putting things like Vivi or Black Waltz into play without having to cast them. I mean, we do still have to flip them face up, but like it gets them on the battlefield, and that's like drawing a card, basically. And we just, like, if we make enough bodies, we can turn all of those guys sideways and kill you. And then in the School of Medusa's three big guys, we have Murktide Regent, Crom, Ludovic's Opus, and the Obscura Oculus. We can also substitute any one of those guys for somebody holding Glamdring, because we have a significant quantity of instants and sorceries in the graveyard. Put that on people and get in there for combat. Cole at one point earlier was like, what was it that we were trying to make room for, the like paradigm spells?
Yeah, because like I was thinking like you could probably put 3 of them in. Like I thought like whatever the cycle was, you could manage to put all 3 of them in, and then you were like, but what do I cut, Cole? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. One of the Rowls or something? And you were like, no.
Absolutely not. And then you're like,
happening.
Okay, cut Crom. And I'm like, absolutely not. It's so important for me to be able to demonstrate that my control deck is trying to kill you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you have a vision, and the vision cannot be compromised. Yeah, it's pretty understandable, though.
Yeah, we did find a spot for one of them, though. I think we're on the Sun and Blood paradigm spell. The red one, I don't super want to just, like, cast that and rip 4 removal spells and fire that shit off. That'll scare the hose, frankly. And I, like, you really need to be cautious about the level of threat that you are presenting if you're playing a deck like this, because if you aren't set up to have complete control of the game and you scare those, they will band together and beat your ass to death. And I can't handle that, so we gotta maneuver carefully until we are in a position where we can. As far as the rest of the deck, it's basically just removal and card advantage in the Mystical Archive frame. The stuff that we didn't go through with is in the considering section in the sideboard. I looked for a second at the Thoughtseize type cards, the like Inquisition of Kozilek and all of them, and ultimately decided that those are not good enough if I'm not like copying them for each opponent like one could with Zevlor, Elturel, Exile. In 1v1, they probably feel good, but here it's just like, I would rather play like Burglar Rats or a Necrogoyf, something that's going to require the discard of a card from each opponent and can potentially do that repeatedly.
The scale up, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a Commander / Thoughtseize if we're going to do that, which is why I really like the Intellect Devourer. That's my fucking dude. Okay, gameplay experiences. A lot of the times I'm like, this is my Mystical Archive control deck with 24 pieces of removal and or counter magic. Also me. Cast 2 removal spells the entire game.
Wait, so you and I are doing the same thing? Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. Being a control deck and not endeavoring to keep the board barren is weird, but I've had success doing it, so we're gonna keep doing it. I had one game where I did very close to get there with the Mizzix's Mastery plus Wizard Finger. We had been fucking adapting to the situations, moving the Black Mage's Rod around to wherever we needed it to be on so that I could have it equipped to a guy, cast Mizzix's Mastery, and have mana up to protect the Mizzix's Mastery with a counterspell. And we did all of that finally on the last turn. We killed 2 opponents, one of them being you, the other one being Lenny, and then Karanki comes out with the fucking Flare of Fortitude, says his life total can't change, and I just have to flip the fucking table because I went to 1 making this happen.
Yep, that's right. Suffer. All your plans up in smoke.
Everything that I'd built turned to fucking ash in an instant. We immediately like, all right, well, you fucking got me. I had the counter spell back up for one of those, and somebody did fucking tried to counter a thing, and I countered the counter, and I didn't have a second counter for the Flare of Fortitude saving her life. So, shout out to you.
That was a pretty fun game, all things considering. Especially at the end when you get absolutely shit on, you're like, no!
My plans!
Oh, too good, too funny.
Yeah, Mystical Archive Control is not a deck that I expected to actually... I was sitting there in the lab putting this together like, this is fucking silly. This is an art project. There's no way that this plays Magic. And it plays Magic, and is actually providing fun gameplay experiences. And I feel like
and it also looks super dang pretty.
Yeah, and it's also fucking beautiful. So the fact that we were able to put together an art project that's also serving the, like, it's also a functional commander deck. I am patting myself on the back. Fuck yeah, we nailed it.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, what you got next for me?
All right. I am doing a Bloodrick posting update because I haven't done that for a while. This is we're clear of Lorwyn Eclipsed and checks notes. I'm pretty sure I didn't add anything from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to the deck, and not because it's a form of purism or anything like that. It's just like I don't necessarily think anything really like fit the deck the way I wanted it to fit, so I just kind of ignored it.
Yeah, there's like the
Quinn,
Boros extra combats guys, but they I don't think had relevant keywords, so made that a difficult inclusion.
Yeah.
Fucking Orum's Thunder though? What the fuck?
Okay, yeah. So I've had I had Laura in my ear for a bit. Like, every once in a while I'll go over to her Discord and people will be chatting, and she keeps bringing it up. And I'm like, fuck. She's right, though. Like,
I've posted about this
Thunder
before, dude. It rules.
No, it fucking rules. It's fucking awesome. Like, what, and like, and here's the thing, right? Like, I'm very much shifting into my, like, how can I get my 2-for-1s or, like, my modular spells, like, in this deck to make it a resilient machine where light goes, God fucking damn it, why isn't this guy dead yet?
Or whatever. And then Medusa, this shit before.
And then Medusa goes, fucking, this is the most Mardu-ass Boros deck that I've ever freaking seen, right? So I'm like, yeah. So I got a snip here, and it's not the most like cohesive like include and like in and out like cut, but like what is going on here? You know, there's been some changes from like the last time that I've put the deck, like I was sharing the deck list. Swapped out some stuff for the short term to try out or retry some old tech. We do got some SO from Seekers of Strixhaven cards in here. So like what's going on here? So the first of this tipping point was like I did try and include Ghost Vacuum, and then it was like I have no idea what the fuck to cut for this, so like never mind. It was like, okay, hey Kristen, you like Boros? I like Boros. What do you think I should do here? And she looks at the list and she's like, boy, what the fuck? And she's like, all right, you got to cut these cards. And I'm like, fucking tear my fucking heart out. God damn it. Fine. I'll cut Reunion of the House, which I'm still think like I'm pretty big on that spell. And the Ruin Grinder, which I guess, yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then she's like, you got to add these cards. I'm surprised you haven't had these cards in the deck. And then I'm like, well, actually, I did have some of these cards in the deck 4 years ago. So let's go back over it, right? So it's like, okay, fine. Kristen said her piece. I gotta make some swaps here and really think about what I'm doing with this goddamn deck. So cards that are out, some are like asterisk, like still heavily thinking about them, thinking of them favorably. So I put out Land Tax and Charismatic Conqueror, like one of the 2 most expensive spells that can be taken out of the goddamn deck, in monetary wise at least. Charismatic Conqueror is kind of fucking nuts. I took out Faithless Looting. Still not sure how I feel about that. Took out Silverblade Paladin, Pyrrhic Strike, the Reunion of the House, and the Ruin Grinder. The cards that went in, Karmic Guide, the card that obviously in retrospect, yeah, I probably should have put that back in, but whatever. 4 years, whatever. Leave me alone.
It's pretty good.
Redemption Choir, Vampire, Lifelink, Conditional, Sun Titan.
This card bangs.
Yeah, I should have kept doing that. Put back in Reconstruct History, because holy shit, yeah, Recursion's pretty damn good. Inspiring Statuary, because using artifacts to pay for the mana of some things is pretty damn good. The aforementioned Orm's Thunder, where it's a 3-mana instant with kicker for red, where you can destroy target artifact or enchantment, and then if it was kicked, deals damage equal to that permanent's mana value to target creature. So there's your 2-for-1. Then the new, among many Seekers of Strixhaven cards that I'm considering for this deck, because there are so many, the 2 cards that I'm currently starting off with is Hardened Academic, the card that I have been talking about on and off everywhere that I can conceivably get the word out, and Daydream, which I did not expect to see this card in any way, shape, or form, but it does the thing that I want it to do. 1 white for sorcery, exile target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1 counter on it with a flashback of 2 and a white. And that reads pretty damn good, even at a sorcery.
Yeah, that seems decent.
Kristen pointed out I should also probably get an Ephemerate, and I'll take that under advisement and try to get a Mystical Archive version. They're like fucking $20.
Ooh, fucking yikes.
There's $10 for the Mystical Archive version. It's $20-something for the foil version. And that's not even getting into like the etched foil version of it, and that gets into like ridiculous tier. In the meantime, I'm going to try out Daydream for a more proactive approach, and also the fact that it has flashback. That just feels good. So a lot of these swaps, and like, you know, I had Venerable Warsinger and Direfleet Daredevil in temporarily, and then was like, nope, yoink them out. We got some swaps to make. It's no big deal. A lot of this purely just, part of it is and I was talking about this earlier. We're talking on and off with Light. And very much the same thing with the Silverquill deck. There's a TV trope. It's called technician versus performer. Give me a sec here. I'm gonna bring it up because the long and short of it is, let's say you have you play Devil May Cry 3. This is a perfect example. Dante and Virgil. Dante is the performer.
Oh.
Virgil is the technician, right?
Okay.
Right. So in terms of deck building, Light is very much like the deep methodical, fucking Pepe Sylvia string board of just
it's
like
a technician.
This makes sense, but there's like a severe deep logic behind it. You try to like unthread the thing and like it doesn't work. So like she's like, cool, look at Indominus Lux and like what do you like the deck and like what do you think? I'm like, Light, I don't know what you want me to do because like you already put in like 5 layers deep, 6 layers deep of thinking into this deck and certain packages and interaction things that like I can't get into the mentality. Because when you ask me about Audric Bloodcursed, I say I take a swig of whiskey and I see shit, I don't know, I just kind of like play it out and like figure it out, right? Very vibes based, very feelings based, like updates of like, why am I doing all these fucking crazy nonsense swaps, right? Like, so let me start off with the one thing that I think was kind of like what's the Greek being that pushes a rock up a hill and is cursed to do that forever?
Oh, Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. So I'm pushing the ball of Swiftblade Vindicator up the hill because in my mind, right? I'm like, okay, Audric Bloodcursed. I am playing a trash tier commander. This is a 3-mana 3/3 vanilla creature when everything is in like the worst state, right? So I'm like, okay, on to a Swiftblade Vindicator, which means if I cast Audric on 3, I get 3 blood tokens. And this is like baseline, like this is how I progress my board state. This is the whole linchpin of the entire thing. And then I'm like, what else does Swiftblade Vindicator do in this particular deck? Swiftblade Vindicator does fucking nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It does jack shit. It's got 3 bonkers keywords, but it is a 3-mana 1/1 that just fucking explodes. It just fucking dies to stuff. It does nothing, right? I'm like, look, I like French vanilla creatures. I've been looking at this card for so long where I'm like, this is so good. And sometimes the particular set of keywords on these creatures are so good that they're worth their weight in gold. Like, it's fucking nutty. But then I'm like, it doesn't have enough juice because I need these cards to have a second like an extra quadrant of what I want it to do. It can't just be a French vanilla creature.
I get it.
Right? And like, this is the part where I'm like, this is the part where Light and I like get it. But then I'm like, yeah, Swiftblade Vindicator doesn't do anything, but you know what else is fucking cool? Fucking Hardened Academic.
Now that's a guy that does something.
This is a card that, one, it is a flyer. Flyers win games, we all know this.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little bit more power, so for the initial state of this card, it is as vulnerable as a Swiftblade Vindicator. So that doesn't look too good. Discard a card. This creature gains lifelink until end of turn. Okay. As long as Empress Quinn is not breathing down my fucking neck, I can leverage that. And it's another keyword. So now Hardened Academic, if you squint really hard, has 3 keywords. We are at Swiftblade Vindicator level. Then, as part of the whole feature of this goddamn deck, whenever one of our cards leave your graveyard, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. Now, it is a Reanimator deck. It is kind of also a Flicker deck. It doesn't change the fact that +1 counters power go up, whether that's on the Hardened Academic or literally any other of these creatures. It adds up. It snowballs like fucking crazy. And it's a discard outlet. If I want, I'm like, I need to reanimate this thing because I can't cast it, but I'm going to pitch it to the graveyard so I can cast my Karmic Guide to bring back, I don't know, Aurelia the War Leader or Angel of the Ruins, which if I wasn't playing cycling that or whatever, right? So this is where we're at in terms of like, if I am making willy-nilly swaps. Like, there is an extra avenue of forethought put into this. Like, when I put in Direfleet Daredevil, I know people are putting cards in their graveyards, and I could probably piggyback off of it. Riona of the House was reanimating several creatures in one swing because they were all going into the graveyard. Ruin Grinder was getting me a mountain, like how Angel of the Ruins was getting me a mountain, and I might be able to bring it back or not, I don't know. But it also has a keyword on it. So there's like the triple, the three axes that these cards like intersect, right? But then like Daydream, I can mill it, I can wheel it, I can cast it, I can get it going, and I can get it gone. Orm's Thunder kills something, but it destroys an enchantment or artifact, which is something that any deck needs, so you eat your veggies.
Mm-hmm.
But then, in a pinch, I can pay the red and probably kill something. Maybe 2-for-1 someone.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
if somebody's
kill
playing their
someone's-
fucking Bastion of Remembrance, you can laser that and then hit their 3-drop commander at the same time and be like, alright, and that's what you fucking get.
And it doesn't even need to be like the same owner's target. It could literally
It could be
like,
literally anybody's, but it's so fun to get the same person.
Yeah, it is. Like
Mad rude, let me be clear, but...
yeah, no. You're like, hey, fuck you, and also fuck you. And they're like, oh my freaking god, I can't believe this. So, yeah. I am looking forward to the Predator handshake meme between Ivora, Insatiable Air, and Hardened Academic of just being like, I discard a card, I put a +1 counter on Ivora, I reanimate something, I put a +1 counter on Ivora, and I can rinse and repeat. Redemption Choir, I'm like, listen, you know what? Kristen's totally right. I want to try to find more ways to be consistently reanimating things. Most of the stuff that I want to be returning is like small enough for like this effect to be super impactful. And a 4-mana 3/3 is like nothing to snuff at. And the minute you start adding keywords a la Iroas, God of Victory, which now that I just remembered, I need to switch that to the secret layer.
Oh yeah, because homie fucking balled out.
And I continue to ball out. So yeah, no, I mean, this deck is the most expensive deck I own for a multitude of reasons, and I'm pretty sure it still only clears like $250 or something when you shrink everything down. Just, there's so many little things that I can do that makes this deck stupidly resilient, and people are like, God damn it, this guy put Underworld Breach in his deck to make Iroas a creature. This man is fucking insane and sick in the head. And the answer is, yeah, I'm fucking mad about this fucking deck. It still does a lot of cool shit. And this is just, we'll see what Strixhaven has to offer for it in the grand scheme of things.
With the appreciation for +1/+1 counters, is there a universe where you play Leader's Talent from the Ninja Turtles set?
Quinn, you know what's really funny? I did pick up a copy of that card the other week.
Nice.
Because again, I was on that +1 counter kick. Leader's Talent is more likely to go into Sephiroth Fallen Hero.
That makes a lot of sense. It does the modifications and speaks to everything that deck has going on much more closely.
And that deck, the curve like that it looks for, it's, what's the way to describe it? The aggro curve is so low that like I want to make a 1-drop an absolute fucking monster even before Sephiroth shows up to the battlefield, and then if Sephiroth gets sniped, it doesn't matter because like the Leader's Talents and other like adjacent cards of the world are like making that 1/1 a certified threat, and then everyone's like, I don't think Sephiroth's the problem anymore. Leader's Talent, though, that card is just fucking bananas.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid.
For what that's looking to do. Then I'm immediately thinking, God fucking damn it, do I get a copy of Hardened Academic for Sephiroth? And I'm like, no, That's too far. We are already spreading ourselves way too thin. I need to figure out what this card does for this deck first.
I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah. That's the Bloodrick update for this episode.
Sweet.
We will see what Strixhaven has to bring. What's up with you?
Which one of these do we do next?
One of those is, one half of that is very appealing to me, and then I read the immediate second half, and I'm horridly disgusted with you. And looks at time. I don't know if we have time, so I'm gonna go with the one that is severely disgusting to me, which is the last one on the list.
All right.
I think because we have talked about this deck before. And you're back at it again, and like, holy shit.
I don't think we've talked about this on here.
I feel like you've talked about Mardu discard before. I feel like you have. I could be wrong.
I don't think so. I think I've talked about discard in a lot of other different contexts, but this is the first time I think that we tried that in Mardu. So yeah, hey. Remember that resolution about making a more serious commitment to a discard deck? We keep fucking trying it. And I do actually technically have one. The Grixis Chandra's is, at its core, a discard control deck with a Planeswalker's finish. But that's also a Chandra Typal deck, so it doesn't feel like a discard deck. But this here, Mardu discard, I wanted to go harder than we did when playing, air quotes, ethical discard. So I will. And we... oh, maybe that was it. Yeah, it was, Brina.
Oh, yeah. God damn it. Yeah. This is just one step even further.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Mardu discard, I just offer it. Gotta talk about signal and killing intent. Like we talked about earlier, if you're going to play a control deck, it's important to be able to point to the thing that says this is how you will die. And so we've got number go up technology. I have creatures that I don't super care about them dying once they've entered the battlefield, and so we are going to attack, and we are going to make it worth it. The tools that we have to do this are the Virtue of Loyalty. Because we're going wide, we can amplify our damage with the +1/+1 counters. We also have Leader's Talent, which is sort of the same, but it goes tall. It's good on cards like Aquazotz or Savanti Romero. It's also good on any one of our commanders, particularly Timna, who I have as the Cecil Harvey Final Fantasy Through the Ages print. And the level 2 and the level 3s of Leader's Talent provide the, like, inevitability and an insurance policy, sort of. So when you wrath my board for being annoying, then I gain a life for the guys with the counters on them. And then the level 4, or level 3 rather, if we get there, casting a spell and putting a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control has never been a bad ability. So that'll get in there and kill people. We also have Stoneblade. Do not at me. We need to be able to kill you, and a big fucking knife. Nothing says I'm going to fucking kill you like a knife.
Yeah, it usually does, yeah.
We have Quarry Steel Cutter in the package this time, as well as Ninja's Blades. The Cutter gives us the trample. Ninja's Blades is just like a card that I wanted to play, but I figure if we are doing discard, I can also play stuff that makes me discard and reanimate them with like Sun Titan or whatever. And this is a way to do the discarding. And it can turn the things that we discard into burn damage and just like throwing my shuriken at you. That's always a satisfying experience for me. And then the other thing that we have in the number go up technology is just my stinky boys, Dusk Mangler and Malboro.
Oh god, here we fucking go.
Yeah, they're the worst.
I mean, granted, I asked for this, so, you know.
They enter the battlefield, they shred hands, they shred boards, they shred life totals, they shred libraries, and when they're paired with the blink package of the Stoneblade cards that I play, and we have the pieces to ensure that we can see something from that package each game, we can pretty consistently guarantee that by the end of the game we're going to see a way to repeatedly make you look at the enter the battlefield ability of one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
The other ways that we're signaling killing intent is with our Entropic Battle Cruiser. That's a spaceship that does the Megrim thing when you station it by 1. Whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. You can also station it for 8 to give it Flying, Death Touch, make it a 3/10, and whenever it attacks, each opponent discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life. That really helps you slam the door on a game when paired with cards like Aclazotz or anybody else who's demanding the discard of a card repeatedly. We start to get to levels where you can't feed it anymore, and then it's burning you for not being able to feed it. We also have some ruinous fucking... that's a different section. I started reading Aclazotz and got...
It got all mixed up.
The other way that we have to just slam the door on a game is Rise of the Dark Realms. We don't actually have that card though. We have it in the form of Shieldred and the True Scriptures, and her last chapter is Rise of the Dark Realms, and then she turns back into Shelley. That's gonna end the game, especially if I've been making you discard creatures all game. So we just rip them all out of the yard, and then everybody's like, that is a board state that I can't answer, and I don't have cards in hand to find one, so I'm good to pick it up here. And then we just move on from there.
I think I am now... I should have realized this before, and now I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at fucking Phalia again. Hey, did anyone notice that I put Phalia as the image of the last logo?
I did.
Because this fucking dog. And the other thing, too, and I'm like, wait a fucking second. You could use Phalia to go get Cloud to go get the Buster Sword or wherever the fuck you're going to be doing with that. Mm-hmm. You can start flickering your fucking rats and making people discard cards repeatedly.
Yes, sir.
And that's fucked up.
It's so rude.
Why are you like this?
I truly do not know. Everybody's got a little bit of a sicko in them, and mine likes discard. Speaking of discard, so here's the cards that make everybody discard.
Quinn, no one is going to be representing you in the court against the Legendary Creature Podcast Discord.
I don't know what to tell you. There's plenty of sickos everywhere. Not a single one of you is free of sin.
Your honor, ethical discard, cracks the mallet, guilty, death penalty.
I never said it was ethical.
Well, I did see the quotation marks ethical, so...
That was a different deck. We wanted to go harder than we did when we were playing, air quotes, ethical discard. So now we are. This isn't an ethical discard deck. This is trying to fucking kill you. And it's discard, and there's no additional, card advantage like Karazakar or Brina or anything like that. Nelly, Borka, even though those 3 would be great cards to put in this deck if you were looking to play ethical discard. I left all that out because I don't want that. I want you to be hellbent, and then I kill you for having no cards in hand and you not being able to interact. So the discard. New package just dropped. I'm calling it my Burglar Rats. It's all the guys that are like Burglar Rat. They're the 2 mana, enter the battlefield, each opponent discards a card, guys. I found all of those that were in my collection on MTGO and put them in the deck here, and now they're in a package on Moxfield. We got the Stinky Boys, Malboro and Dusk Mangler. We got Aclazotz and Rankle serving up the discard on attack and damage, respectively. And then I got some Ruinous Sagas, like the House Grows Hungry from, not Duskborn, the other set that it's from Spider-Man.
It's from Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah. But the one on MTGO is the House Grows Hungry. I think this is like the Death of Gwen Stacy.
Probably, yeah.
Other sagas that we have are the Eldest Reborn, which does the sacrifice on the first chapter,
which is fucking
discard on the
rude
second
all by
chapter.
itself.
Yeah, it's so rude. And then the reanimate on the third chapter. And then the other one that we have is the Long Reach of Night, which is chapters 1 and 2. Each opponent sacrifices a creature unless they discard a card. And then chapter 3, the Animus of Night's Reach. Whenever it attacks, it gets +X/+O until end of turn. X is the number of creature cards in defending player's graveyard. So I can turn all of my discard into a large beater with this guy. We've also got some rude sorceries that are making people discard. Vicious Rumors is a fucking 1-mana sorcery with a paragraph of text on it.
Yeah, God, what was I thinking? I come across this card a few times because I think I opened a few packs or like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, could you read that fucking roll of text back to me again? Thank you. What does that do?
Yeah, it does 1 damage to each opponent. Each opponent discards a card, then each opponent mills a card, and I gain a life. This feels like...
Should I put that in Silverquill?
Yeah, that'd be rude. Do that.
No, I won't.
Green Goblin Mask staring at you. Coward!
Coward! Do it! Wait, Palpatine, you're here too? What the fuck?
Oh yeah, all of your dark sides manifesting to tell you to play more discard. But yeah, Vicious Rumors feels like a very, very tiny Smallpox, and I'm a sicko who enjoys playing Smallpox, so I liked that. Thinking about Pox Plague. That's a really rude one.
I look over at my pile of blue cards.
Yeah, you're gonna counterspell my Pox Plague, make sure that I don't get to have
I might have
fun.
to. Hey Quinn, hold on a second here. You know, who were we talking with the other day where it was like, hey, I should get some copies of Don't Blink?
I say, tugging at my collar uncomfortably.
Hey, I got a couple of those right here, ready to go.
That'll be so annoying when I put a Sword of Hearth and Home trigger on the stack targeting somebody.
Stop. Then
and
you
then
know
you're
what?
gonna cast a Don't Blink, and then I'm gonna be like, fuck
you know
my
what?
plans.
Between Light and you, Light is like, you've been letting me get away with it for like 3 or 4 years, Cole, and I'm like, I'm slow to change, but guess what, Quinn? It's fucking happening. I'm putting Flash Birds into decks, and I'm putting fucking Containment Priest. Now I got Don't Blink, because I got no fucking compulsion. I got no complaints about putting a Doctor Who card in some blue decks. So all of you better fucking watch the fuck out.
Yeah, Brago mages, you're on fucking notice.
This is also out to you, Lenny. I fucking see you. Better fucking watch out. Fucking Azorius.
Yeah, with the blue-white blink deck with the Turtle Scamander. I see you. Cole's fucking had it. He's Containment Priesting on our asses. He's casting Don't Blink, shuffling them all into our libraries instead of letting them enter.
Even Mind Sensor, fucking...
You thought you were gonna search? How about you check the top 4 and see if that fetch land hits? Fucking getting all of our asses. Respect, though. You gotta do it. If we're fucking getting away with it like this, it's metagame's gotta develop. Anyway, the rest of these rude sorceries. I'm on Rankle's Prank because I'm a hater. I'm just gonna rip all modes and make everybody answer all of that. Siphon Mind, another rude card that makes everybody discard a card and me draw a card for each one of those. And then Skullrend is just... Mwah, beautiful.
Now, hey, Quinn.
Yeah?
I will give you credit for Skullrend, because who the fuck is casting Skullrend Commander?
Me. Does 2 damage to each opponent, and all of them discard 2 cards at random. Fuck, that's rude.
Yep, it's real rude. Also a common, and the artwork's kind of fucking gross.
Oh yeah, it's disgusting. If they had art that was like different, I would probably be playing that. Let me get a Mystical Archive card, or a printing of this card that no one plays.
Hey, yeah, they're like, all right, kids, welcome to class. Welcome to Skullrend 101. And everyone's like, what? We got a guest instructor today, all the way from Ravnica.
From the Guild of Rakdos.
Oh, no.
Wild. Hang on. What's the Deflecting Palm? That recently got a Mystical Archive printing, so you know what?
It did. It did, and it looks fucking
It
awesome.
is
and
so much less gross. Holy shit. Thank you so much to the artist for that.
yeah, I really never complained about the artwork, but a bunch of other people did, so it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. The exposed bones is... I can't do it, dude. Anyway, recursion. Because the burglar rats are very easy to just like yeet into battle after you've gotten the value of the ETB out of them, you can bring them back with Sun Titans and things like that. They synergize well with the crash out aristocracy kind of game plan. We didn't go fully into that angle here, but you can see a universe where you are playing crash out aristocrats with burglar rats and fleshbag marauders and sending your guys into battle, and when they die you bring them back with Sun Titans. My package of Sun Titans looks like Suntits, Squall, Zoraline. I think it's just those three. We don't need a whole lot. We just we're going to grind it out, and when we get there, then those guys are going to help me close the door on the game. Some considerations for ads. If I really wanted to reconstruct this deck entirely, I could build a version of the Orzhov Pixie deck from Standard and go harder on the Impact Tremors effects as a way to like close that out. So I'm like playing Hopeless Nightmare, I'm playing the Pixie, I'm putting the Hopeless Nightmare back in my hand, or I'm playing the like Burglar Rats, and when the Burglar Rats enter, they trigger Impact Tremors, and then the Pixie's bouncing that to my hand, or the Chocobo from the Final Fantasy set, or the White Mane Lion, just like any of those types of cards. Enter, they trigger Impact Tremors, I put a Burglar Rat back in my hand, I'll recast a Burglar Rat, make everybody discard a card, then we trigger the Entropic Battlecruiser and bonk you for 3 or whatever. You see the game plan.
Yeah, there's the killing intent.
Yeah, you can absolutely build a deck that looks like that. That's not the angle that we took here. I've got a different angle for killing intent, but the tech exists. Somebody out there, I'm sure, has tried that.
Well, like, also on top, like, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yes, you have your beloved Timna in the zone. And I look over and I'm like, oh man, smile faster. I don't know what I was like. Vile Smasher the Fierce is there, and you start hitting them with the Skull Rand, randomly hitting someone for 5, then they take 2 damage, and they also discard 2 cards at random, and then they're like, I discarded my removal spells for Vile Smasher, and you're like, sick, Ruinous Ultimatum, and they're just like, please stop. I am dying, I am on fire, the house is on fire, please stop.
Yeah, the thing about being in Mardu is you get to play Ruinous Ultimatum, and so I do.
Yep, it's pretty, listen, it's basically Psych Rift, it's fine.
Genuinely,
I'm
yes.
hard casting it.
Like, I'm not even ironically about that. Like, genuinely, yes, this is basically Psych Rift.
I am paying, with all the treasures that I've accumulated over the course of this game, double red, triple white, and double black to cast Ruinous Ultimatum to say fuck all of
I'm
you.
fucking hard
Also,
casting it, dude. We're just fucking...
Dominic Mayer, let's fucking go.
Yeah, he absolutely snapped on the showcase printing from Tarkir Dragonstorm. Big fan of his work on the Ultimatum cycle there. We also, on the topic of board wipes, hey, Decree of Pain still fucking rips in 2026, actually. I thought that maybe she was not as strong, and maybe I should be playing Heartless Conscription consistently instead, but we don't have that on MTGO, and we do have Decree of Pain, so that's what we ended up, air quotes, sleeving up for this deck. And I cast that, and it still feels good to Wrath the board and draw 10 cards. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Yup. And of course people are like, no, it was absolutely ruinous. And you're like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the point.
Full of cards to continue to be rain more hellfire on you.
Now everybody's hellbent, and I have cards in my hand, and this game is looking just like less and less in your favor. So gameplay experiences. I had a game that I played on MTGO where I landed an early Tiny Bones Bauble Burglar. This guy is incredible for this game plan. I don't have the other Tiny Bones because Jumpstart cards are $50 bajillion on MTGO, and Tiny Bones in particular because he's cute. But yeah. Oh, fucking fun fact about Tiny Bones from the original artist. Skull, by default, oriented 90 degrees. He's just...
Sorry, what?
Yeah, dude doesn't need the skull to be on normal, like the way that the humans wear their skulls. The Tiny Bones' head is just, like, by default on a little bit off.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's
Yeah,
like,
look
okay,
at the original
that
art
makes
for
sense.
Tiny Bones, and you see that the skull is tilted.
Like there's a slight tilt, yeah. It's so funny when you're undead and the rules don't apply.
Yeah, you don't have to have your skull facing the way that normal humans do, and so Tiny Bones is just like, this goes here, close enough. And I think that's so funny. But I think every time that we've seen them since then, it's been like the normal human orientation. And the artist just wanted to clarify that, bro, is it doesn't have to be normal. Like his default head position is 90 degrees. Like that's just the way that thing be. I think that's very funny. All right, anyway,
Pretty good,
back
yeah.
at it. So yeah, we played Tiny Bones Bauble Burglar on like turn 2. And this guy says whenever an opponent discards a card, you exile it from their graveyard with a stash counter on it, and during your turn you can play cards you don't own with stash counters on them from exile, and it washes the mana for you. He's also got an activated ability to discard a card, but it costs 3 and a black and tap, and it's not very efficient. We had other ways to make people discard, so we used those. But Tiny Bones was turning all of my burglar rats into ancestral recalls, and that felt fucking incredible. I played him and then followed up with the Hopeless Nightmare, basically ancestral recall, actually. And then we played a leader's talent after that, so I'm like swinging in with Tiny Bones after stripping your hand a little bit and beating you to death. We played out a refurbished familiar, started extracting more cards from people's hands, and then I had a Sword of Blink and Ramp that I put on my Tiny Bones, and I connected, and we blinked the refurbished familiar with that, and did the thing again, extracting even more value from people's hands.
Wow.
So keeping it 100.
So you are only doing this to people on MTGO, right?
No, I've played this with people in paper. Well, not like paper,
Oh, God.
obviously, because this is deck list from M2G. But like, yeah.
Through like Convoke or whatever.
Yeah, I spun this up with the homies. That's the next game, actually. Keeping it 100, I don't super remember how the game went from there, but we did cast the Decree of Pain in that game, which still feels good in 2026, so jot that down, like we talked about. Besides that, though, pretty sure we got our shit rocked. We were being an absolute menace. And we didn't have the tools to close before everybody got their feet under them, found their card advantage engines, and then were able to outpace the amount of discard that I was pushing on them.
Dang. Unfortunate.
Yeah, cards are good in 2026. The game that we played with the homies, though, I hop in the chat and we're doing the deck selection thing, and I'm steepling my fingers villainously and leaning close to the microphone as I ask them, how robust are our card advantage packages, gamers? And they're all, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would like to play an unethical discard deck, and I would like to ensure that you all have the potential to play through my repeated demand of discard. And everybody was like, yeah, we can do that. The card advantage packages are pretty robust. So we gave that a shot. And played a Burglar Rat and then an Elvish Doomsayer, started pressing people, turning those guys sideways, and the Elvish Doomsayer, I think, when it dies, each opponent discards a card. So I'm like, do you want to block my 1/1? And just like chipping in for 1 because people are not trying to block my 1/1.
Yeah.
I'm getting in
They're
there.
like, no.
Yeah, I'm getting in there with my Quarry Steel Cutter and my Ninja's Blades to help generate a board, and they provide the evasion, and the throwing the Shuriken for Ninja's Blades gets the damage gets pretty sizable. We got gifted an extra turn with the Perch Protection, which is fucking wild. That lets you know that even though I'm playing discard, I was not the problem. We got through for combat damage with Jekt on one of the players, and we're able to summon Braska's Final Aeon, which enters the battlefield and demands the discard of a card from each opponent, and I draw a card
This
twice.
is so fucked
This card is so fucked. Remember when I put that in the command zone?
Yeah, oh, that's exactly what I'm thinking of.
What a good time for me. Anyway, we killed someone with the Marlboro ETB trigger. If they'd gotten down low enough that we're just like, fuck, dude, I'm down to like 2 people left in the game. There's I think it's like Imoen the Trickster, and she had a bunch of +1/+1 counters on her from Noble Heritage, and staring that down, and the life total's pretty sizable, and then other opponent who has 2 life and a board state that I'm just like, I can't let either of you untap, but I only have an answer for one of you, and then it hits me, Marlboro makes everybody lose 2, so I cast Marlboro, we fucking demand the discard of a card again, kill somebody with that lose life, and then we're down to the 1v1. We just need to get through MON and deal any amount of damage, and we didn't fucking have it, gamers. We swing in there with Philia and tried to blink her out of the way. We pay the ward cost on her, and then she gets protected with a Mother of Runes in response. So it was fucking GG's. The door was slammed on the game there, because it was lethal commander damage from MON if I didn't find an answer.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, Mom is always one of those cards where I'm like, come the fuck on. Like, can I get the window? No, damn it, fine. Fine.
Yeah, you gotta answer Mom almost as soon as she comes down, because otherwise you gotta have 2 removal spells, and you don't have 2 removal spells. Things that everybody did have, though, they had a robust-ass card advantage package. They were indeed able to keep making moves throughout the course of the game, and I'm like fucking trying my hardest here. I'm like, all right, everybody discard a card, everybody discard a card. Repeatedly, I'm doing this every turn, demanding the discard, and everybody's just like, all right, and I still have options. I'm drawing extra cards, and we're doing all of this here, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, this card is not good.
It's like, when it comes to the various forms of resource denial, whether that means like you stacks people out to be like, you can't zoom ahead or get too many of a certain thing, things intertapped, mass land destruction, all that other stuff. It's like, when people are still like, one, unless from like the word go, like from when the game starts, that like you are somehow able to like surgically get rid of people's like card advantage engines before they come out, like it's just not gonna work, right? And you have to be like, can I simultaneously put pressure on their life totals while also putting pressure on their hands? But if they get out from underneath you, like, then you're on the clock. Better get to it. Yeah,
it's fucking tough. I think if I had the copy of a couple of more like hard discard cards like Necrogoyf or Oppression, both of those would be good adds for this, because the repeated discard demanded by that, in addition to some of the other one-off effects that I have in here, I think would be a bit stronger. But you gotta really press it if you want to overcome how good card advantage is these days, and they don't make discard quite as good as they make card advantage.
Yep. Sometimes looking more at your deck is better than making people be like, holy shit, I gotta see more cards, otherwise I'm just gonna fucking lose this game.
Yeah. I'm in the right colors, though. If I had a copy of that stupid 7-mana sorcery, maybe.
What is this 7-mana sorcery?
The one that exiles all cards from graveyard in hand.
Oh, you mean the one
Identity
that I was
Crisis,
talking
yeah.
about in Identity Crisis, yeah. I mean, you know, You could send one person to the fucking Shadow Realm and be like, fucking deal with it. And they're like, draws a land. And they're like,
Well,
nope. that's it.
yeah.
And that's all, folks. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I
Yeah.
gotta think about that.
I don't know.
I also,
This is...
I think that I could have probably a little bit more success if we did have the OG Tiny Bones and were able to, if we get people to Hellbent, just zap them for 10. That would go a long way to ensuring that I can close before they get their feet under them.
Yeah, I think the one thing is when it comes to the very obviously and more important social part of Commander is that what are people's patience levels for being fucked with like this? And the answer more often than not is not really.
I don't know. They were fine when I was playing that game. It's the fucking... you and Light, when I was playing Brina, the tolerance levels were basically 0. But the other gamers that I was playing with were fine.
Okay, hold on. We're talking about coughing baby versus nuclear warhead here.
Are we?
Brina is a flying commander that could get progressively bigger if we play the game, and she could get so big that we just fucking die. And I don't know about that, fam.
Okay, so if I play discard and I don't have Brina, then I'm less of a threat, question mark?
I'm not even going to comment on this. We need to move on.
It's literally just a personal
oath,
temperament thing.
I refuse to answer under oath. You can arrest me. It's fine.
I think if I say I'm playing discard, you and Light are killing me with hammers regardless.
It's true. There is a certain point where an Empress Quinn can get away with it, and I think that was the line. And with this one, I'm like, okay, you're on very thin ice for a multitude of reasons, none of which has to do with my nickname of being Johnny Mardu, but that's a whole whole other thing. Yeah, I don't know. In this case, I am happy to see a multitude of creatures that I'm always looking at fondly from a distance and too much of a coward to commit to myself, aka Rankle, Master of Pranks.
I like that guy.
Weirdly enough, Witch Enchanter and a few of those other cards.
Witch Enchanter
and then at
is
the
just
same
like
time,
in my fucking MDFCs that I play package.
I know. I should be doing it too, because it's
I'm up to
free.
42
Right
lands
there.
in every deck off the back of her and the Boggart Trawler and the Sundering Eruption. If I'm playing a Mardu deck, I put those in.
Yeah. No, I see it. You're right. I'm still not an MDFC believer, I guess, but that's a whole...
I'm a 42 lands believer, and if I can put the spells on a couple of those, then I think we're in better shape. I keep looking at this fucking Guardian Sunmare. I felt so clever when I came up with this, putting that in the deck. The thing about Guardian Sunmare is it finds all of my Stoneblade package, and it also finds a lot of the cards that are discarding, and I'm killing you.
Well, everyone, that was it for this episode of the Here's My 5-Check radio show. It's time to fucking... Oh my god, Quinn,
tell us where they can find them on the internet.
Okay, alright. Hey... the Bludger guy for me, Curl Dick Energy for Quinn, HBVC it's not slash, HBVC -MTG over on Blue Sky. That's where you can find us there. And MTG Lexicon, the Die Bar of EDH on weekends. By the time this episode comes out, we're going to be doing more one-shots of D&D. Lenny and I are going to be part of the crew. We're doing a bunch of heists with a bunch of fucking assholes. We are not safe where we currently are. We need to figure out how we can be safe. Really enjoying the energy Joe's bringing to the table. Bro is like, I'm an expert thief and I have many years under my belt. I'm like, bro, we are level 4. Calm the fuck down. It's the greatest bit that I've been coming up with for that part of the session, and I will continue to do the bit as we do it, as we play. That's this Friday when this episode comes out.
Hell yeah. You all are having so much fun playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's a good time to watch.
Yep, that's it. Let's get on out of here.
Yeah, download SpaceGirl Story. It's on...
Space Girl Story. You got bonus tracks. Give Quinn your money, or else.
Bonus track singular, OMG.
Okay, my bad. Bye.
Later, gamers.